Lowe's knows July 4th savings are worth celebrating. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, counter-spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Crime and drama this Wednesday with episodes of Romance, Last Summer's Love, starring John Dehner and Joyce McClusky from 70 years ago. Jeff Regan Investigator, Frank Graham and Frank Nelson. She's lovely, she's engaged, she eats soybeans. That's also from 75 years ago. We're going to go back to 1952 for an episode of I Was a Communist for the FBI and the Dangerous Dollars. Calling All Cars from 1936, 89 years ago, The Crimson Riddle, and an episode of Lum and Abner, and more threats from the Black Pelican. That's all coming up on this Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's the 9th day of July, the 190th day of the year, 175 days left in 2025. By an act of Congress on this date in 1846, the Washington, D.C. area south of the Potomac River, about 39 square miles, returned to Virginia. In 1850, President Zachary Taylor died of a stomach ailment. Millard Fillmore became the 13th President of the United States. In 1868, the 14th Amendment to the Constitution was ratified, guaranteeing African Americans full citizenship and all persons in the U.S. due process of law. In 1887, reportedly, paper napkins used for the first time by stationery manufacturer John Dickinson at the company's annual dinner. In 1922, Johnny Weissmuller swam the 100-meter freestyle in 58.6 seconds, breaking a world swimming record and the 1-minute barrier. A microburst forced down Pan Am Flight 759 on this date in 1982, crashing into the New Orleans suburb of Kenner, Louisiana.
Well, all I seen was 3 blocks of houses wiped out, where the 727 crashed when it come into the land, and it had 2 or 3 bodies laying around on the street. And I've seen 4 houses completely wiped out, burning up. It's just mass confusion around there, that's all.
All 145 on board killed and 8 people on the ground also killed. In 1995, the Grateful Dead performed their last concert of their 30-year career at Soldier Field in Chicago on this date in 1995. On this date in 1997, the Nevada State Athletic Commission rescinded Mike Tyson's boxing license and fined him $3 million in response to misconduct during his fight against Evander Holyfield. Attorney Oscar Goodman pled Tyson's case.
Mike Tyson, through 13 years, has lived an exemplary life in the ring.
The commission would, about a little over a year later, would restore Tyson's license in 1998, October. Incidentally, Tyson's lawyer, Oscar Goodman, he was a former mob lawyer, and he would be elected mayor of Las Vegas 2 years later. He served from 1999 to 2011. In 2004, a Senate Intelligence Committee report concluded the CIA had provided unfounded assessments of the threat posed by Iraq that the Bush administration relied on to justify going to war. In 2010, 15 years ago today, the largest U.S.-Russia spy swap since the Cold War took place on a remote stretch of Vienna airport tarmac, as planes from New York and Moscow arrived within minutes of each other, with 10 Russian sleeper agents and 4 prisoners accused by Russia of spying for the West. Russian expert Edward Lucas says it was a deal that had to be done.
If it had come to a full trial, there would have been dirty laundry on both sides. And also there'd be more about their methods and sources and tactics which would have come out.
Passing away on this date, longtime reporter and eventual commentator for CBS, Eric Seberide.
In the end, of course, it is not one's employers or colleagues that sustain one quite so much as the listening public when it be so minded. And I have found that it applies only one consistent test, not agreement with one on substance, but the perception of honesty and fair intent. There is in the American people a tough, undiminished instinct for what is fair. Rightly or wrongly, I have the feeling that I have passed that test. I shall wear this like a medal. Millions have listened, intently and indifferently, in agreement and in powerful disagreement. Tens of thousands have written their thoughts to me. I will feel always that I stand in their midst. This was Eric Seberide in Washington. Thank you and goodbye.
Seberide's farewell in November of 1977. He passed away on this date in 1992. Also passing away on this date in history, actor Rip Torn, businessman, politician Ross Perot, Wheezy Jefferson, Isabel Sanford of the Jeffersons television show, actor Rod Steiger, Melvin Belli, and you may not have known his name, but you knew his face. He was a longtime character actor, Charles Lane.
I was always plagued, incidentally, by having to play with the big star. I could never play with the second woman or the second man or the comedian. I always had to play with the big star. So I went through life in total terror all my life.
Yeah. Who now? Clark Gable.
Yes,
big star?
Yes, one of my favorites.
Yeah.
He was a lovely man, and I think of him with great affection.
Yeah.
He was a man that, like some of those other very big stars, had very little security. I remember a story I tell about Clark. We were doing a theater picture. We were working in the old Wilshire Rebuild Theater in Los Angeles, and this was at the height of his career. Mm-hmm. And we had to go out to lunch. There was no commissary. And I wasn't terribly hungry, so I came back about a half an hour early, and there were two grips eating their lunch out of a paper sack, and Gable rehearsing all by himself up and down on the aisle, half an hour before the call. Mm-hmm. And I remember going up to him and saying, "What in God's name are you doing?" And he said, "Oh, Charlie, I've got to do something about this. I stink in this so terribly." Which was a remarkable thing, to be rehearsing a half an hour before the call at the height of his career when nobody else there. Yeah. But that was sort of typical.
Lane was always cast as a mean sort of fella. You probably remember him. He was the auditor in It's a Wonderful Life. Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, Arsenic and Old Lace. And then on television, his probably best-known role was Homer Bedloe on Petticoat Junction. Charles Lane, passing away on this date in 2007. He was a spry 102. Born on this date in history, Mingo on Daniel Boone, and also a wonderful singer, Ed Ames, born on this date. You also had the inventor Elias Howe, actor Vince Edwards, remember him from Ben Casey, the television show, country singer-songwriter Lee Hazelwood, Shaft, Richard Roundtree, born on this date, and Orenthal Simpson, better known as O.J. Simpson. We lost him last year at the age of 76. Those some of the people born on this date in history.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
He's written 105 novels, sold over 450 million copies. Dean Koontz, 80 years old today. John Tesh, 73 years old. From L.A. Law, NYPD Blue, and most recently The West Wing, Jimmy Smits is 70.
When you try to hurl that word liberal at my feet, it won't work, Senator, because I will pick up that label and I will wear it as a badge of honor.
Jimmy Smits, 70 years old today. Tom Hanks is 69.
These pilots were not behaving like human beings, like people who are experiencing this for the first time.
Well, they may not be reacting like you did.
Immediately after the bird strike, they are turning back for the airport, just as in the computer sims, correct?
That is correct.
They obviously knew the turn and exactly what heading to fly. They did not run a check. They did not switch on the APU.
They had all the same parameters that you faced.
No one warned us. No one said you are going to lose both engines at a lower altitude than any jet in history. But be cool. Just make a left turn for LaGuardia like you're going back to pick up the milk. This was dual engine loss at 2,800 feet, followed by an immediate water landing with 155 souls on board. No one has ever trained for an incident like that. No one.
From the 2016 movie Sully, Tom Hanks, 69 years old today. Top Gun, Kelly McGillis, 68. Pro wrestler, used to be Diesel, then became known as just as his own name, Kevin Nash, 66 years old today. Musician Courtney Love, 61. Pro wrestler Sheldon Benjamin, been all over every wrestling promotion, now in AEW. 50 years old. He wrestles like he's 20 years younger. He's great. From the Wonder Years, Fred Savage is 49. And from the Chronicles of Narnia, Georgie Henley is 30. Those just a few of the people celebrating the 9th day of July as their birthday. If this happens to be your birthday,
happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.
And we continue on this Wednesday, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, an episode of Romance, Last Summer's Love, from 70 years ago, July 9th, 1955, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Lowe's knows July 4th savings are worth celebrating. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
This is Peter Halas. As senior editor of the Hungarian desk at Radio Free Europe, I write and edit material destined for an audience still living behind barbed wire. I know those people, for I was one of them. I escaped to freedom in 1956, but there are millions still in captivity. Radio Free Europe keeps them in touch with the world outside. Keep RFE on the air with contributions to Crusade for Freedom.
Okay, Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, Summer Sizzles, and a regular summer program that you heard a lot more frequently was Romance. This episode from 70 years ago today, July 9th, 1955, entitled Last Summer's Love.
Now, from Hollywood, Romance. Did you ever fall in love at a summer resort? Madly, wildly, devotedly in love? Well, you've missed something if you haven't. And if you have, then you'll know the summer magic that Candy and Doug share in our story. So now, with Joyce McClusky as Candy and John Dehner as Doug, we bring you transcribed Kathleen Height's delightful story, Last Summer's Love.
It just came in this morning's mail. Let me read it to you. Are you coming to Clear Lake again this year? We're holding the same accommodations for you had last summer, because we're sure you'll want to recapture the thrill of boating on the lake, riding the wooded trails surrounding it, dancing at the pavilion, meeting the gang at the lodge. Everything you loved about Clear Lake is still here, waiting for you. I wonder if it is. Because last year...
Candy, come out here this minute.
Don't you think it'd be better if I finished dressing first?
Oh, I don't think it matters. Hurry up. You'll just die.
Not on the first day of my vacation, I won't. I refuse to. Oh, Sue. Isn't it beautiful?
Beautiful?
I do believe it's bluer than it was on the brochure they sent us.
Oh, you're talking about the lake. Well, it's nice, too.
Too?
Over this way. Look. Oh, the dock? What's on the dock?
All I see is a couple of fellas with fishing poles getting out of a motorboat.
That's all you have to see. In fact, I didn't even waste time on the fishing poles and motorboat. 2 fellas.
Well, what's the matter with you? Didn't you know they come in pairs or something?
Where'd you put the binoculars?
Don't be silly. You can tell from here that they're both tall. One of them has red hair. The other has light hair, and he's terribly tanned. And those white trunks he's wearing. They're in the top drawer of the chest.
Huh?
The binoculars.
You know something wonderful?
Not yet.
That's our dock, too. Remember the man at the lodge said that there was a dock for every 2 cabins, and each one had a canoe and a motorboat.
That's right, he did. Mm-hmm. Oh, now, look, Sue. Sure you don't think we ought to go down there now? I mean, what on earth would they think? We may have set a new track record down the trail to the dock. Maybe it was the mountain air or the high holiday mood of our vacation. Because, honestly, Sue and I aren't usually what you'd call forward. Generally speaking, we're much more subtle. For instance, the fact that I turned my ankle and sprawled headlong onto the dock was the purest of coincidences.
Oh, Candy, how awful. Are you hurt?
I don't know. It doesn't feel very good.
Hey, that looked like a bad one.
Can we give you a hand?
Oh, my goodness. And we had no idea anyone was within miles of her.
Well, you were running like someone was holding a clock on you. You always run that fast?
Only when we're after something special.
Wouldn't you like to get up?
I don't know. I was beginning to feel quite at home down here.
Oh, my goodness, Candy, are you still down there? I'd almost forgotten all about you.
Here, I'll help you up.
Oh, it sort of hurts. On this one ankle, my right one.
Just don't put any weight on it. Lean against me. That's right. Well, there you go.
Thanks. Thanks very much.
Do you think you can stand on it?
Well, can try.
You got a couple of skinned knees there, too.
I guess I do.
Oh, Candy, I'm so sorry.
Look, I better get these fish up on ice and take the rest of the gear up to the cabin. You look after the little lady, Doug.
I'll bring my stuff along later.
Why, you'll do no such thing. My goodness, if you're going to be kind enough to stay here and help Candy, the very least I can do is help him carry things.
You don't have to do that.
Yes, she does.
I want to. Really, I wouldn't feel right if I didn't.
She means that.
Well, okay, if you want to. That'll be swell. If you can manage the rods and Doug's sweatshirt, I'll handle the rest of the stuff.
Have you tried putting your weight on it yet?
Huh?
The ankle.
Oh, no. I guess I haven't. Let's see now.
Oh, hurts, huh?
Oh, just a little. A little shooting pain, you know.
Well, let's see now. Does that hurt?
Oh, it's just a little tender there.
How about that?
No, not especially.
Well, it isn't broken anyway.
That's nice.
I really think it's just twisted a little.
My, you're brown. I mean, you must have been up here a long time to get a tan like that.
Just about 10 days. I tan pretty easily. Poor old Brick, all he does is sunburn and peel. Brick's the one that went up to the cabin with your friend.
Sue.
Sue. She called you Candy?
Mm-hmm. He called you Doug.
You doing anything special tonight?
Well, no. Well, you see, we just got here today, and... No, I'm not doing anything special.
Good. You soak that foot, then. Keep the water just as hot as you can stand it, and give it a good soaking, huh?
As I lurched up the trail to our cabin, quite alone, I told myself that I should be grateful for his concern, that it showed that he was a man of fine instincts, a man of feeling. I told myself a lot of things, but it was no use. I wasn't listening. For all I knew, Sue had moved in with Doug and Brick. I didn't see her again till late afternoon.
Oh, Candy, honey, I've simply been worried sick about you.
Ho, ho.
Really? I told the boys I couldn't stay another minute until I knew you were all right.
Bully for you.
We all think you're being terribly sensible.
You and the boys?
Mm-hmm. Staying off your feet this way. Candy, you're not the teeniest little bit disturbed with me, are you? I mean, we all thought you ought to rest.
Silly girl, of course I'm not the teeniest little bit disturbed. I am livid.
With me? Why on earth?
Well, not with you exactly. With me, I guess. I feel like a fool sprinting down that path with the speed of light landing on my chin.
You'll love what Doug said about it. Honestly, he's the funniest thing.
I'll bet I don't love it.
He said he'd never had a girl fall for him so hard. Isn't that a scream?
I'm completely convulsed.
Candy, you gotta help me.
Why?
Well, I don't know quite how it all happened, but the boys, Brick and Doug, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were talking about how tired they are of eating just plain old fried trout every night, and I found myself saying that I knew the most perfectly divine sauce for trout. And then, of course, they said, well, why didn't I have dinner with them, fixing the sauce, of course, and I said I'd just run over here and gather up a few ingredients.
Well, go ahead. Gather them up.
Oh, Candy, you know very well I don't know the first thing about the most perfectly divine sauce for trout.
Oh? Don't you, Sue?
Outside of scalloped potatoes, I can't cook my hat. Candy, you will help me out, won't you? You know I'd do anything for you. I mean, if you were in over your head this way.
I gave her a sauce recipe. Now that I look back on it, I don't suppose it was really a very nice thing to do, but I wasn't feeling very nice that day. I myself dined alone on poached eggs, slept perfectly well the entire night. Even my ankle was much improved the next morning. And as I sat sunning myself on the dock, I reflected on the fact that there's a little of Lucretia Borgia in every woman. Oh, it can't be. Well, it couldn't possibly be.
Morning.
Hello.
How's that for a string of trout?
Oh, it's wonderful. Well, you must have gone out awfully early.
Yeah, I did. Felt kind of rocky all night. So I figured if I couldn't sleep, I might as well get up and fish.
Did you feel awfully bad?
Just rocky. I haven't checked Brick, but how's Sue feeling? We all ate the same thing.
I know. And I just feel terrible about it.
Well, you shouldn't. It wasn't your fault.
Oh, but it was. I don't know what came over me, but
Well, you weren't even there.
only in spirit.
How's the ankle feeling?
Oh, it's fine. It's really just fine.
You know, I sure admire what you did last night.
Huh?
Yeah. You stayed home and soaked your foot. That's what you should have done. A lot of gals would have been foolish about it, but you handled it just right.
You think so?
Makes me think a lot more of you.
I'm glad. But I don't deserve it. I mean, you're thinking nice things about me and all.
If you feel like it, I wish you'd have dinner with me tonight.
Dinner?
Yeah. Only we won't go to the same place we all went to last night.
But I thought... Didn't you fix the trout at your cabin with that special sauce?
Didn't Sue tell you? Well, I guess maybe she was mad at Brick and me, but she took so long with all those wild ingredients, we just told her to forget the sauce. Well, we all went down to Luigi's for spaghetti.
We'll return to romance and our story, Last Summer's Love, in just a moment. Today on CBS Radio's Gunsmoke, hear the remarkable story of Uncle Oliver. United States Marshal Matt Dillon meets Uncle Oliver today on most of these same stations. And now for the second act of Romance.
funny. It wasn't the moonlight on Clear Lake or the romantic setting of the pine-capped mountains that brought Doug and me together. Just one twisted ankle and 3 light touches of ptomaine. Dinner that night was something I'll never forget. I don't think anything is more exciting than those first times together when you're beginning to fall in love.
I guess I should have told you not to dress up. Nobody does up here. Anything you wear fishing is fine for anything else you do.
I like that. Makes it more of a vacation, more of a change. You've been coming up here for a long time?
Ever since I was a kid. Used to come up with the folks then. When I got a little bit older, I'd take summer jobs up here just so I could spend the summers the way I liked it best.
What kind of jobs?
Oh, a little bit of everything. I worked for the stable several summers, gave riding lessons, and I'd take a crowd out along the trails for steak fries.
Sounds wonderful.
You like to ride?
Well, I like the idea of horseback riding. I really don't know much about it. Just once or twice at summer camp. I don't get much chance to ride in the city.
You don't get much chance to live either, or breathe, or get close to anything that's important. I don't like cities.
Don't you live in one?
Not for very long at a time. I'll take a job anywhere, so long as I can be out of doors.
I don't think I've ever met anyone just like you. I mean, most of the fellas I meet and the ones I grew up with, they're all in insurance or brokerage houses or maybe law firms.
Yeah, the Sunday golf crowd. I know.
Handball, too, on their lunch hours.
Yeah. Well, they can have it.
They surely can. I don't know why I'm talking so big. I work in an insurance office.
Well, it's different for a girl. You're probably just working to fill in the time until you get married.
I probably am.
There's nothing wrong with that, Candy.
Filling in the time or getting married?
Well, I was thinking more about filling in the time, but well, I guess there's nothing wrong with getting married.
A lot of people do.
Yeah. A lot of people I know are married.
Some of my best friends are.
Candy, would you let me teach you to ride?
It wasn't the most important question anyone had ever asked me, but it sounded like it at the time. All the time we were talking, and it certainly wasn't a very inspired conversation. I kept thinking what a wonderful-looking person he was. His plaid shirt open at the throat, his well-weathered Levi's. Everything about him was fresh and clean and crisp. He looked like a John Whitcomb drawing of a bronze, blue-eyed, typical American young man, the kind you never see. But there he was. Doug taught me to ride and fish, and we swam and went on long hikes. And just when I thought it could never end, it had to.
This is it, Candy. This is the spot.
Oh, I thought we were lost. You left the trail way back there.
Oh, I don't need any trail to come up here. Come on. I want to show you.
Eh?
There.
Oh, it's high, isn't it? Oh, it must be the top of the world.
The top of mine, anyway. Come on, out to the point.
Oh, Doc. It's... There aren't any words for it.
I've never found any.
It's like nothing down there was important.
Nothing is.
Oh, is that the lake? That tiny thimble full of water?
You can't even see the lodge or the villages. They're too small.
How long have you been coming up here?
I don't know. I was about 10, I guess. First time I found it. That time I was lost. After that, it just sort of became my spot.
Why do you ever leave?
Sometimes I think I won't. Then I'm afraid if I stay too long, it'll just lose something for me. I like it just the way it is.
I think I understand.
Candy, I don't know if it matters. I've never brought anyone up here before.
It matters.
Funny, I didn't intend to bring you. I mean, I didn't even think about it till we started to ride this morning. Pretty soon, I knew where I was headed.
I hope you're not sorry. I hope you don't think of me as an intruder.
It seems just right, your being here. Candy. Candy.
It seems just right to me, too.
Let's not go back.
Back?
Brick and Sue, they were talking about a picnic tonight and then going over to the pavilion to dance.
Well, that's right. They were. Big farewell evening.
I don't like farewells. I don't want to think about tomorrow when you go. I just want to be with you today. Here.
And he was. And I'm quite sure there was never a day like it. Doug had brought food. We'd planned to have lunch and swim on the far side of the lake, but we settled for cold baked beans and beer, and sunning ourselves on the warm rocks of the point. And we never once talked of goodbye, or anything beyond our day together, until late that night, at the door of the cabin.
You must be tired. I guess it's pretty late.
I'm not tired, and I don't care how late it is. Do you want to come in for a while?
No. There's no sense stretching it out, Candy. Won't make it any easier.
Just longer. I wish it were all just beginning, Doug. I wish tomorrow was the first day of my vacation.
Yeah. Well, I guess you gotta go, though. No chance of staying on a while?
No. I don't suppose you ever get to Kansas City.
Never have yet. No, maybe. Look. I'll write you, huh? You send me your address, and I'll write you.
Doug, wait.
I'll see you, Candy.
I cried a little. Neither Sue nor I said anything much on the way home early the next day. Back in Kansas City, I saw the fellas I knew in the insurance and brokerage houses and law firms. And they talked about their Sunday golf games and handball on their lunch hours. I wrote letters to Doug and waited frantically for the mail. And the time passed. And it was September and October. Mr. Beamer's office.
I'd like to speak to Miss Candy Winters, please.
This is she.
Oh, I thought so. Hi.
Doug?
Yeah.
But where are you?
Downstairs.
But you never come to Kansas City.
I'm here now. Look, are you busy for lunch?
No. I can leave early. I can come now, Doug.
I'm just downstairs.
Don't move a muscle.
How do you manage to keep looking so tan? I thought you'd be all faded out by now.
Oh, I play golf on Sundays.
Oh.
It's really been quite a nice fall here. Warm and sunny. Doug, have you been sick?
No, been feeling fine.
But you're so pale. Maybe it's just the lighting in here.
I guess I've lost a lot of my tan, all right. I always do in the winter.
I just thought you were always terribly tan.
Not in the winter.
No. Well, most people aren't.
No, not most people. Well, you're wearing a suit.
Yes, I am. I usually wear suits to the office.
It's nice. I just never saw you anything like that before.
No, well, at the lake it was different.
Yeah, it was.
You're wearing a suit, too.
Yeah, I am.
Is that a hand-painted necktie?
Yeah, it is. Cost $15. You like it?
Well, it's certainly colorful. Say that for it. Oh, what do you hear from Brick?
Oh, Not much. He's stuck in San Francisco, some dull advertising job. How about Sue?
Well, she's fine. What brings you to Kansas City anyway?
Well, my work, really. I'm selling encyclopedias now.
Sounds interesting.
Well, it's outdoor work, you know. That is, I'm out more than I am indoors. You have a set of encyclopedias?
Oh, yes. He has 24 of them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness, look at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot. I'm supposed to be back for some terribly important dictation exactly of 3 minutes.
Oh, hey, then. You run along because, tell you the truth, I've got an appointment, too.
Well, it's been awfully nice, Doug.
Yeah, same here. Sure, it's great to see you again.
And if you're ever passing through town again...
You bet. I sure will.
Romance is produced and directed by Norman MacDonald with editorial supervision by Het Mannheim. You have heard Last Summer's Love, specially written for Romance by Kathleen Height, starring Joyce McClusky with John Dehner. Featured in the cast were Gene Bates and Vic Perrin. This is Joe Walters inviting you to hear Romance, transcribed next week at this same time. When you go away to the beach or go riding in the car, radio is ready, willing, and able to follow right along. You can take CBS radio with you wherever you go this summer. Stay tuned now for Gunsmoke, which follows immediately over most of these same stations.
For a show that had a 14-year run on CBS, it was all over the schedule. It was nothing more than filler. It had prime times in the summer months, and yet from 1954 to 57 had its most sustained run as a Saturday afternoon show. And, you know, sometimes that's what happened with shows. Of course, it was an anthology, so it wasn't like moving it around made a big difference. 70 years ago, July 9th, 1955, Romance here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. I believe for a period of time, Romance was also one of the summer shows that filled a half of the time slot of the Lux Radio Theater. All right, coming up next, a West Coast show now. Frank Graham, Frank Nelson, Jeff Regan Investigator. She's lovely, she's engaged, she eats soybeans.
Lowe's knows July 4th savings are worth celebrating. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
Can I take this can of used fat to the store and keep the money?
Why, yes. But what made you think about doing that all of a sudden?
Well, heck, Mom. They got a big sign in the store about it. They're paying real money for this used fat now.
Yes, you may be surprised at how much dealers are paying for used fats these days. It soon counts up. You see, used fats are still needed very much. This country and the whole world are still short of oils for making soap and other industrial products. So whether you let Junior keep the change or use the money to cut down your grocery bills, it pays to save every drop of used fat.
Oh, you gotta love it. And there are people to this day say that stuff never happened. They really do. They're insane. Okay. Now we go back 75 years on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox to July 9th, 1950. Jeff Regan Investigator. Frank Graham as Jeff Regan. The role originated by Jack Webb. And Frank Nelson, who still has a silly-ish character in this. And the episode, as I said, entitled, She's Lovely, She's Engaged, and She Eats Soybeans.
My name's Regan. I work for Anthony J. Lyon, Detective Bureau. They call me the Lion's Eye. Sunday at 8:30, and CBS brings you Jeff Regan Investigator, starring Frank Graham as Regan, with Frank Nelson as Anthony J. Lyon. So stand by for mystery and suspense and adventure in tonight's transcribed story. She's lovely, she's engaged, she eats soybeans. This one revolved around a beauty. The kind that drives some men mad, some to murder. Her name, last week, was Miss Fireworks on the 4th. But she didn't have to worry about catching on fire. Everything was insured. But there was somebody that didn't like her in a bathing suit, and a big guy that shot skeet and never missed. But once. I got a call from my boss, the Lion, last Wednesday morning before breakfast. Said he had to see me right away. When I got down to the Detective Bureau, the Lion was chewing slowly and holding a
picture, Jeffrey. A photograph, to be exact.
Chewing your cud, Lion?
Wheat kernels, Jeffrey. Sunny fruit of Mother Earth. I saved some for your breakfast.
Where's the marmalade?
Don't scoff, my boy. These golden grains of patented wheat.
Who's got a patent on wheat?
Steve Albright. And this isn't just any wheat. It's grown only in a sun-splashed acre of alluvial soil, watered by a gushing spring of, have a kernel, Jeffrey.
Thanks.
It's the new miracle health food, my boy. If you're heavy, it slims you. If you're lean, it builds you up. And you need only 10 kernels a day. Here, have another.
The picture, Fatso.
Yes, the picture. Well, look what the wheat has done for this girl, Jeffrey.
Wrong side up.
Yeah? Oh, yes.
Ah, bathing beauty.
Yeah, professional, my boy. It travels around the country doing
this.
Yes. But there's trouble afoot, Jeffrey. This lovely girl is in some sort of danger.
What kind?
That's your job, my boy. You must find out. Our retainer of $150 says you do.
Who's Steve Albright?
Her manager. He left me these pictures of the girl, and when I asked how she managed to keep her figure...
He produced a sack of wheat and said, chew slowly.
Something like that.
What's the girl's name?
Name? I guess I forgot to ask.
You're right. Doesn't make any matter. Where do I find the Steve Albright?
Yeah, I have the address right here.
Oh, you're improving.
Here it is. Now give me back my picture and get right out there. Mr. Albright said this girl is a very valuable property.
Some photographs lie, but these told the truth. About soft hair flowing down to the waist. A fluted figure, tight in a two-piece bathing suit. If you look real close for it. Now, who'd want to get a girl like this into trouble? But somebody did. It was afternoon before I could contact Albright. His office was in a small white stucco building back of the Sunset Strip. No elevators. The directory said Steve Albright, Massive Enterprises Incorporated, Suite 3. I found it. The door said enter. I entered.
Regan, excellent.
The office was one room, a desk, and...
Steve Albright is my name. Perfect. Glad you got here so soon. Excellent.
Glad to know you. Wonderful.
You're thinking this is a small office, that Massive Enterprises is broke. I ask you to examine the books, Mr. Regan.
You've paid us.
They're somewhere in this drawer. Oh, here they are. Excellent.
Where's the girl?
We'll come to her, fine.
Grand.
The books. You see? They go back to 1948. That's when I found her.
What do you call her?
Actual name, Jerry Shoulder. Marvelous. But no one knows her by that name. As you can see in the books, Mr. Regan, it's always something like Miss Gold Coast.
Mm-hmm. See, Chicago, $1,436.56.
2 days' work, pictures, endorsements, radio shots.
Mm-hmm. Good money for 2 days' work.
Jerry was Miss Coal Tar Derivatives for the Duplan Manufacturing Empire.
$2,769.84.
In 3 days, marvelous. Of course, the flower festivals and all have a bathing beauty contest, but they find it's much simpler and more advantageous to have a professional win. She knows how to pose, she knows what to say and do, and, of course, she's more beautiful.
Makes sense. You say she's in trouble.
We did very well in Kansas City as Miss Ground Round for the butchers.
I want to know about now.
Well, since we've been here, Mr. Regan, there have been innuendos, threats against her life.
Why?
I don't know. Well, here, you can see from a picture.
You left pictures of her with Lion, I'm convinced.
I mean, Mr. Regan, it's seldom that a girl comes along who has all... delightful. I mean, it's insured.
Insurance is a wonderful business.
Yeah, $100,000 overall. And Lloyd's of London will pay $10,000 if she injures those legs of hers.
Mm-hmm. You want me to act as her bodyguard, eh?
Precisely, Grand.
Delightful.
That is, if you feel you can resist her. You see, Mr. Regan, her value as a professional bathing beauty is ruined if she gets mixed up with men. Marries.
Uh-huh. You, got a policy on that, too?
$50,000.
I promise I won't marry the girl.
Your big job is to keep men away from her.
What man? His name?
Banyan. He's tall, good-looking.
Yeah, I know him. He's a cheap racketeer.
Oh, excellent. Then we can do business.
Just curiosity, all right, but what about the golden grains of patented wheat?
Oh, that's just a sideline of our enterprise, Mr. Regan. Women wonder how Jerry Shoulder managed to keep what you see in this photograph, so we started a little health food business on the side.
Yeah, another thing, if something happens to Jerry Shoulder, who gets the insurance money?
Massive Enterprises.
Which is?
Me.
I checked the insurance policies. They seemed genuine. I asked where I could find Jerry Shoulder and was told the beauty parlor. Where else? And that's where I headed, only instead of a parlor, it was a beauty salon. The doors were plate glass, the doorman an electric eye. The plate glass swung out. I swung in. I sank into the deep rug like it was something alive. The place was wired for music. There were flowers and a statue of Aphrodite, life-size, standing in the fountain. The official greeter was Trey Chick in ascot tie and cutaway pants.
What's it to you, Mac?
He said, noticing my glance.
You maybe want your hair done?
If you don't mind my asking, why are you working here?
The slick dames gotta get their kicks. I remind them of Humphrey Bogart.
Oh, yeah, sure. Well, now, Humph, could you tell me...
My name is Mungo.
Who was that?
Just a dame getting beautiful. You was Aston?
I'm looking for a girl named Jerry Shoulder.
All right, wise gang. In here. Mr. Banyan will want to talk to you.
The big guy rammed his shoulder into my stomach, then grabbed my arm and twisted it behind my back. He opened a door and shoved me into a room. He locked the door from the outside. There was another door, and it was locked, too. I looked around the room. It was like a medieval torture chamber. Weird racks and iron maidens connected to steam pipes. Metal rollers and headless horses. All to change nature's idea of what a woman should look like. I tried the door again. This time it opened. Only someone was coming in. She was young. She was lovely. She wore a bathing suit. Tall, deeply tanned brunette, moving easily toward me on calendar legs.
You want to see me?
There's more?
I'm Jerry Shoulder.
I thought maybe.
I don't get to meet men. I'm sorry you caught me looking like this.
It's all right.
You see, I just had my hair done and had to wrap it in a towel.
Oh, yeah.
Mungo tried to keep me out of here, but I persuaded him to let me come in. You wanted me for something?
I'm your new bodyguard, lady.
Steve's starting that again.
Doesn't want you to get into trouble.
Oh, you wouldn't let anything happen to me, would you, Mr.
Regan?
Oh, Mr. Regan, the lion's eye. Oh, I've heard of you. I've heard you're very good.
On some things.
Well, you mustn't pay too much attention to my manager.
Your
Mr.
manager
Regan.
says you've been threatened.
There must be some mistake. I've never been threatened in my life. Oh, pardon me while I climb up on my horse.
Huh? Oh.
There.
Yeah.
No, don't leave, Mr. Regan. Stay right here. It's time for my exercise.
Do you have any idea who might want to do you bodily harm?
I just love exercise, Mr. Regan.
Yeah, sure. Could it be a man named Banyan?
Mr. Regan, you've got to help me get out of this place.
You man, come here.
There was a woman standing in the doorway. There was a gun in her hand.
I know how to use this. Get away from her.
She motioned me toward the door. I obliged. Then we were in the hall, and I noticed the woman was holding the gun awkwardly. The safety was on.
You men are all alike.
Yeah, they tell me. Now, give me the gun.
You stay away from Jerry.
The gun.
I'll just put it back in my purse, but you stay away from Jerry now.
The woman dropped the gun into her purse. She wore a plain, hugging jersey dress. Gray hair in a bun at the back of her head. The kind of a woman you see in bars. Late. Alone.
We've got to keep men away from Jerry. I'm sorry if I frightened you.
Don't tell me you're a private eye.
No. I'm Martha, Jerry's wardrobe mistress. I keep her bathing suits in cool, dry places. They're latex, you know.
Do you know a man named Albright?
Well, sure, that's Jerry's manager. He's the one that told me to protect Jerry, keep the men away.
Well, then why didn't you do it? The way she came walking in, anybody could have got to her.
I was busy for a moment in the back, looking for a cool, dry place.
Does Jerry know a small-time racketeer named Banyan?
Well, if she does, I don't know about it. And I'm with her constantly.
Yeah, like today.
Oh, I'll bet you're Jeff Regan.
Yeah, so Albright told you I was on the case,
He
huh?
tells me everything, Mr. Regan.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe he can tell you why Jerry didn't follow us out into the hall.
It does seem strange.
We better take a look in that room. Jerry's shoulder was gone, out the other door. But we still had a catch. Standing in the middle of the 17th century chamber of mechanical horrors was a 20th century mess. The ape in ascot tie and pearl buttons, only now his clothes were torn, his face scratched and bleeding. All right, where's the girl?
I was only trying to help.
Wake up, will you? Where is she?
Mr. Banyan, he said...
Banyan again.
Keep her safe from guys.
Snap out of it, will you?
I couldn't hit his girl. I tried to hold her. She hit me and scratched me.
Is she still in the building?
She even screamed at me, but I couldn't hit his girl.
Banyan, sure. And I know where to find him. Banyan operated out of the 7 Club, but when I checked, he wasn't there. I finally caught up with him outside of town, in a spot hidden from the highway. A country club. A gambling joint that featured bare-knuckle bouts, cockfighting, and now, Banyan, with a shotgun in his hands, shooting skeet. Pull!
Dead duck. Nice shooting, Banyan.
Talking to yourself, Banyan?
Huh? Oh, Regan.
Shooting clay pigeons a little out of your line, isn't it, Banyan?
Clay pigeons? You never know which way they'll fly. Sharpens the eye. Pull. Yeah. Makes it easy when you're trying for a larger target.
Nice spot you got here.
Doesn't belong to me if that's what you're after.
No. The way I read it, brand new beauty parlor belongs to you. Likewise, a guy named Mungo. That's your new front.
Regan, it's a salon.
Oh, yeah, I thought. What I'm after, Banyan, is a girl named Jerry Shoulder.
Never heard of her.
Beautiful, isn't she?
Very.
Look, I'm playing for keeps.
Oh? You won't mind if I just slip a few more shells into my shotgun.
Just remember, I don't scare.
Oh, I'd almost forgotten.
Open up, Banyan. Jerry Shoulder.
You know what my enemies are saying, Regan? That Jerry Shoulder's as good as dead. Pull!
You missed. This time. I checked the club grounds. No Jerry Shoulder. She wasn't with Banyan. I headed back to L.A. fast. It was late when I reached L.A. I had to get the line. I phoned him at his apartment. Nobody home. I called again 15 minutes later. Still no answer. I was getting worried. I went to his apartment. He wasn't there. I checked with the janitor. He told me the line was on the roof. That's where I found him. In bed. Lying.
Hey, Lion. Lion Detective. It's you, Jeffrey.
Why the Boy Scouting on the roof?
I'm sleeping in nature's own clean, sweet air. My boy. I moved my cot up here just this evening.
Look, Lion.
Sleeping under the stars, just as Mother Nature intended.
Lion,
If Mr. Albright says my shoulder sleeps out, even when it's raw, it's part of their health plan. Look at me, Jeffrey. I'm thinner already. You know, I've only had 8 kernels of the patented wheat today instead of 10. I did without dessert.
Listen, Fatso, I'm heading for Jerry Shoulder's hotel. I want you to check on Banyan.
You that low criminal?
Find out where he's been the last few days, how he's been spending his time, everything. Keep an eye on him.
All right, Jeffrey, if you insist.
I insist.
Do you think you'll find Miss Shoulder at a hotel?
Maybe. If she's alive. I dropped the Lion off at police headquarters to get a rundown on Banyan. Then I drove to Jerry Shoulder's apartment hotel. The street was quiet and deserted. Most of the windows were black, just a few lights here and there. Patio balconies. Very swank. Inside, there was a self-help elevator. I went up. The elevator opened onto a long corridor. A small night light down at the end. The room was 306. I was almost at the door when the door banged open, and coming at me fast was that mug from the beauty parlor, Mungo.
Out of my way!
No, brother, not this time. It's right. My fist found his stomach as soft as pie. He doubled and fell. I jumped over him and ran into the apartment. The lights were on. The living room was empty. I tried the bedroom. The light was on in there, too, glaring white on what I didn't want to see. There was a body lying across the bed. Not Jerry's shoulder. A man's body, a bullet through his chest. The dead man was Steve Albright. The ripped sheet that covered him was stained purple.
This is CBS, and you are listening to tonight's adventure with Jeff Regan, Investigator, entitled She's Lovely, She's Engaged, She Eats Soybeans.
Steve Albright was dead in Jerry Shoulder's apartment, a bullet hole in his chest, and what looked like purple acid burns through the bedclothes. I'd caught Mungo, the well-dressed ape from the beauty parlor, coming out of the apartment door, and I knew that Mungo worked for Banyan, the racketeer. Albright had hired me as Jerry Shoulder's bodyguard. He'd have done better to have hired me as his. I called Candid at Homicide. Now, the police photographers were gone. We were waiting for the coroner. Candid sitting on the bed next to Albright's body. Candid was eating Fig Newtons.
Well, I'm glad you held on to Mungo, Regan.
You think he did it, Candid?
Open and shut case.
You know, Jerry Shoulder was insured, but plenty.
Yeah. You said.
I called the night number of the insurance company right after I called you, Candid. They said all her policies were in effect but one. You know which one?
I'm not interested, Regan. I've got the killer.
It was the one that would have paid off to Albright.
The deceased.
If Jerry had married. That policy lapsed a month ago.
Well, my insurance is always lapsing.
Yeah, well, this one lapsed because Albright married Jerry Shoulder himself.
What?
The company wouldn't pay on that. And Albright couldn't let it out because there's no such thing as a married bathing beauty.
So Mungo was nuts about the dame. She gives him the come on. He finds out about her being married, comes up here and...
And?
Have a Fig Newton, Regan. They're real fresh.
And?
Well, he was going to kill the girl, like they all do, Regan. You know that. But Mungo gets real mad when he finds her husband in her bed, and he knocks him off.
Mungo denies it.
They all do, Regan.
You know, Candid, the way the bullet entered... Looks like it was a hurry-up job.
So Mungo was nervous.
You know Mungo worked for Banyan.
We've got the killer.
Mind if I, turn out these lights?
Hey, now, wait a... Regan, I can't see.
Yeah, it's kind of dark in here.
Regan, where are you? I feel something moving. There's a dead guy in here, Regan.
Give your eyes a chance to get used to the dark.
Oh, gee, turn the light on.
Huh? Barely make out the figure on the bed.
In the name of the law, Regan.
Okay, Candid. I've got all I need here. I left Candid and the dead man and headed for my car. But I saw something across the street that stopped me. A long black convertible with the top up. Over the wheel, I could see a face. Banyan. I ran across the street, grabbed the door handle just as the car started to move, opened it, and pulled the handbrake.
Take it easy, Regan. You're liable to get hurt.
Are you waiting for someone, Banyan?
What I do's my business.
Been up to Jerry's apartment tonight, Banyan?
Cops having a ball over there, Regan?
Yeah, a real party. They're serving refreshments. Fig Newtons.
I stopped laughing in 29.
Maybe you've been in the building. Just got out. You were leaving without saying goodbye.
Where's Jerry's shoulder, Regan?
Let's look in your car trunk.
If anything happened to that girl, I'm holding you responsible.
Put that gun away.
She's the only clean, decent thing I've ever had in my life. Something a peeper like you wouldn't understand.
Try me.
Jerry's shoulder and I are engaged to be married.
You'll have to stand in line.
Yeah? Quitting the racket. Sure, at first I was just playing around with Jerry, but then I found she was...
different.
A decent dame.
You've known Jerry's shoulder how long, Banyan? 3 weeks?
Ever since she's been in town. Yeah, maybe 3 weeks.
How'd you meet her?
I answered a lonely heart's ad.
Look, Banyan, I know you started that beauty shop front so you could meet Jerry there, or have her brought there so you could be nearer.
Oh, let's stop fishing.
Sorry, time's running out, Banyan. I gotta give it to you straight. Jerry's shoulder was married to Steve Albright.
What? Why, you lying.
Somebody's been killed in Jerry's shoulder's bed, and it looks like it might be her hubby. Maybe you better go take a look. Banyan ran upstairs, but I didn't have time to wait for his reaction. I had an appointment at Massive Enterprises. It was 4 a.m. now. A clear sky, pouring cold moonlight down on the deserted stucco that housed Massive Enterprises Incorporated. The outside door was open. Steve Albright's office was locked. It opened on the 3rd key. I tried. I snapped the overhead light on. Everything just as I remembered it. I opened the desk and found what I wanted. When Steve Albright had said that Massive Enterprises consisted of himself, he was almost right. The health food sideline was in the name of Martha Highgate. I used the phone to raise the line. Tried every place I thought he might be. Then tried the office of the Detective Bureau.
Yeah, Anthony J. Line, Detective Bureau. Anthony J.
Me,
Line.
Fatso.
Oh, Jeffrey, my boy. I've been trying to locate you.
What'd you get on Banyan?
That's what I wanted to tell you. I picked up his trail at the 7 Club.
He was with Jerry's shoulder.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I just talked to Banyan.
Yeah, I'm not surprised, Jeffrey. I took his girl away from him.
Jerry's shoulder?
Yes, when they came out of the club, Banyan went to get his car. I spoke to Miss Shoulder and told her she was in great danger. Showed my credentials, and she came with me.
With you?
Yes. Oh, she's a very nice girl, my boy. She said she's had to go around with Banyan. He practically forced her to accompany him.
Where's Jerry's shoulder now?
Well, she was here at the office up until an hour ago. We had a midnight bite of wheat and quite a nice chat.
She's gone?
Well, I was out getting a drink of water, and when I came back, she was gone.
Anything else on Banyan?
Oh, yes. There is no Banyan.
Come again?
Banyan is just one of the aliases taken by a hoodlum whose real name is Highgate.
Highgate? And he has an older sister named Martha.
Yes, but how...
That's all I needed. Thanks, Lion. It began to make sense. When Banyan saw Jerry's shoulder had run out on him, he phoned downtown to Mungo, had Mungo check her apartment. That's where I found him. I looked through Albright's desk and found Martha Highgate's address. It was the Ronda Hotel. When I got there, the room clerk was smiling.
Room 405, Regan, but you won't find Martha Highgate up there.
Who will I find?
Smooth dame. Must be a friend. Had a bottle and some ice cubes sent up just a little while ago. Celebrating.
Celebrating?
Wearing a bathing suit.
I went upstairs and knocked on the door. I waited. Then I felt the knob turn in my hand. The door opened. And there, in a tight-fitting bathing suit, stood...
Ah, come in, Mr. Regan.
Hey, wait a minute. You're not Jerry's shoulder.
Come in, Mr. Regan.
The room was dim, in pink light. There was a rosy globe hanging down from the ceiling. A phonograph was playing. And the woman was the bathing beauty's wardrobe mistress, Martha Highgate.
Drink, Mr. Regan?
No, thanks, lady.
Oh, don't you like me? Just a little.
I'll like you more after we talk.
Do you like me in this light? See, I kept my figure young, Mr. Regan.
You can't cheat Father Time with a pink light, lady.
My hair looks almost black if you don't stand too close. It's long, Mr. Regan.
You even had the bellboy fooled with that bathing suit and your hair down, Martha.
I'm Jerry's shoulder now.
It'll take more than wishing to give you what she has, lady.
Maybe a little drink will improve your eyesight.
No one's eyesight's too good in a darkened bedroom, Martha.
Bedroom.
You loved Steve Albright, didn't you, Martha?
Love Steve? Oh, sure, and he loves me.
Yeah, he did all right by you, too. Made you part of massive enterprises, gave you a cut of the profits. But that wasn't enough. You wanted him.
I've got him.
Oh, no, lady. Somebody's got him now, but not you.
Not Jerry's shoulder.
Steve Albright is dead.
Dead?
One thing, lady, you didn't know that Steve and Jerry were married.
Steve, Jerry.
Yeah, you should have turned that bedroom light on before you threw that acid.
What do you mean?
Jerry was on a date tonight with your brother.
No.
You killed Steve Albright, her husband.
Steve.
You made certain with a gun. But you couldn't stand the thought of Jerry's shoulder looking beautiful even in death. So you used acid, too.
I can use this gun again, Mr. Regan.
Oh, no, you won't use it again, Martha. You're a one-time gal. You won't kill again.
Don't try me.
Give me that gun, Martha.
Stand back.
Give it to me.
All right.
The muzzle blast was hot on my face. But Martha was still a poor hand with a gun. The bullet went wild, and I had her by the arms tight.
Get your hands off her, Regan.
Banyan.
Oh, honey, I knew you'd come. I knew you wouldn't let me take him.
All right, give me the gun, Regan. One inside your coat, too. That's right.
You won't get away with this, Banyan.
What's Regan doing here, sis?
Shoot him. Kill him, honey.
What's Regan doing in your room?
Well, he was going to take me in for killing Steve Albright. But now you won't let him. You won't let him, will you, honey?
Why the bathing suit?
She went up there to kill Jerry's shoulder, Banyan.
Why the bathing suit?
I'm as beautiful as she is.
Jealousy, Banyan. Your sister wanted Steve, but he fell for Jerry.
How about it, sis?
I wish now they'd been together tonight. I didn't know they were married. I'd have killed both of them. That's why I threw Jerry at you, honey. You wanted her, and I wanted to get rid of her. Oh, gee, I'm glad you showed up, honey. Now, come on, kill Regan. Come on, shoot Regan.
No. That's not the way it's going to be. All right, Regan, here's your gun.
What?
Thanks, Banyan.
What are you doing? You're my brother. You can't do that. You can't turn me in.
You don't need to worry about Martha, Regan.
No, I can't.
So Jerry was married. Well, all that's over for me. But you tried to kill her, Martha. So I'm turning you in myself.
No, you can't. They'll hurt me. You're my brother. Yes,
The woman in the bathing suit, flattered by the rosy light, allowed her brother to take her by the arm and lead her from the room. Banyan delivered his sister to Candid down at Homicide. But to make sure, I followed Banyan's car all the way. Too bad about Banyan. Jerry was the only good thing that ever happened to him in his life. But it happened too late. Anyway, Candid finally found the scared Jerry shoulder, released Banyan's sidekick, Mungo, and that put a period. It was 10 in the morning when I checked in at the office. The lion was singing.
There was a boy, a very strange, enchanted boy.
Oh, nature boy.
Oh, Jeffrey.
Still packing away the wheat, Fatso?
Oh, yes. Notice how much weight I've lost already, my boy. You know, this morning I saw my cheekbones for the first time in years.
Oh, eyes sunken, color gray.
Jeffrey, I've never felt so healthy. I've been eating nothing but golden grains of patented wheat.
Patented?
Patented. You know, Miss Shoulder eats nothing but health foods, Jeffrey. Last night she recommended a health food restaurant where we might have lunch. The Grated Garbanzo Grotto.
Fine.
It serves nothing but the finest dried soybeans.
Good.
Yes. Raw cabbage.
Delicious.
Delicious. Choice beech bark.
Yummy. Yeah, I knew you weren't touching any other kind of food.
Oh, health foods, Jeffrey. Nature's boon to mankind.
That's why I turned down the invitation for you.
Moated mango. Invitation? What invitation?
Of course, I'm going.
You're going where?
Candid's barbecue out at his place. You were invited, but I knew you wouldn't be interested.
Barbecue?
No, you wouldn't want hot buttered corn.
Corn?
Rich Caesar salad.
Salad.
Mounds of golden brown French fried potatoes.
Oh.
Steaks 4 inches thick. So long, Lion.
Jeffrey, wait for me!
Jeff Regan Investigator is written by William Frug and Gilbert Thomas, produced and directed by Sterling Tracy. and stars Frank Graham as Regan with Frank Nelson as Anthony J. Lyon. Original music is by Dick Arant. Jeff Regan, Investigator, is heard each week at the same time over CBS. Bob Stevenson speaking, reminding you that Jeff Regan will be back next week transcribed. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Quite the enjoyable show. Jeff Regan Investigator, probably too good for just the West Coast, wouldn't you say? Sadly, the show would come to an abrupt end when Graham commits suicide 2 months later in September of 1950. All right, as coming up tomorrow on Classic Radio Theater on our Thursday podcast, we will have more fun shows. Granby's Green Acres, a summer series that would spawn eventually a television show many, many years later. The radio version starring the wonderful, wonderful folks that you've come to know and love. They're only starring roles, and they're only rolled together as the leads. Gail Gordon, B. Benaderet. And as Granby tries to decide what crop he's going to plant. The Adventures of Archie Andrews, Bob Hastings. And Archie has a date. So he's got to get a whole bunch of stuff together so that he can, get dressed. Borrowing a lot of stuff. Another ventriloquist on the radio in 1944, Paul Winchell and Jerry Mahoney, probably better remembered for their TV runs. Eve Arden and our Miss Brooks from the final season of the show, from a late season of the show, 1955, and the couple next door, Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce. That's all coming up on tomorrow's Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. All righty, and then on, let's see, where are we here? I'm getting lost in my lineup here. Friday, we'll have an hour with Chasen Sanborn and, of course, Charlie McCarthy and Edgar Bergen and the other crew, and their guest is Gladys George. And then we'll have an hour with the Mercury Theater on the Air and Bram Stoker's Dracula. Saturday, we'll start off with some Westerns. A 1954 production of Gunsmoke, a 1955 production of Have Gun Will Travel, and the Screen Directors Playhouse 1951 adaptation of the movie The Fugitive. On Sunday, we'll go back and see what's going on with Archie Andrews again, along with an episode of the CBS Radio Workshop, The Case of the White Kitten, a Jack Parr from 1947, and a quiz show, Dr. IQ, as it came from Kansas City. We don't have a lot of the radio shows. I think the only TV show of Dr. IQ that we have is anchored, I believe, by Tom Kennedy. Okay, on Monday's show, we'll get back to drama, mostly, because we'll have Philip Marlowe, we'll have Escape, and the Drums of the Fore and Aft. We'll have Calling All Cars from 1938, but we will have to have an episode of Stan Freberg, the initial show of the short 14-episode series, and probably the best of the lot. They were all good, but the best of the lot's the first one. You had the Tune Sheep Chorus, and you had the incident at Los Barrosis, where they blew up Las Vegas. On Tuesday, Screen Directors Playhouse and the 1949 adaptation of The Yellow Sky, Will Rogers Jr. and Rogers of the Gazette, a summer series called The Police, and the Casebook of Gregory Hood. On Wednesday, I Was a Communist for the FBI rolls in again, along with an episode of the Encore Theater, The Whistler, and Mr. President. Then on Thursday, we'll have next Thursday, Gunsmoke and Have Gun Will Travel from 1960, Eve Arden and Our Miss Brooks, Granby's Green Acres, and a soap opera from 1953, Hilltop House. That's all coming up in the days ahead here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit us at classicradio.stream. Coming up next on the podcast, we'll continue with commies, Cold War drama, and evil money, dangerous dollars. I was a communist for the FBI.
Lowe's knows July 4th savings are worth celebrating. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
You know, this is still the season for carefree holidays and vacations. But don't be carefree on the highway. With roads jammed with traffic, this is the time to be extra careful when driving. When you plan a trip, be sure to allow plenty of time so that you won't be forced to drive too fast or too long. When you get tired at the wheel, you lose your skill and your judgment. So don't drive too many hours at a stretch. Plan your trip so that you can stop frequently and get plenty of rest. And when you start that trip, resolve that you're going to obey traffic laws and regulations. Don't gamble with safety. Remember, the life you save may be your own.
Okay, Matt Cvetic did some great stuff for the FBI along the way. Sometimes, though, he had his own issues. We hear about all the good stuff he did, but sometimes it was extremely crazy that Cvetic became very unreliable in the years after his story came out. It appeared that he got into the bottle a bit much, and they didn't use him. They didn't use him for a very long time. He suffered a heart attack at the age of 53 in 1962 while waiting to take a driver's license exam in L.A. Matt Cvetic, portrayed here by Dana Andrews. I was a communist for the FBI.
I was a communist for the FBI. Starring Dana Andrews in an exciting tale of danger and espionage. I was a communist for the FBI. Many of the incidents in the story you're about to hear are based on the actual records and authentic experiences of Matt Cvetic, who for 9 fantastic years lived as a communist for the FBI. Here is our star, Dana Andrews, as Matt Cvetic. To use a simile, communism is like a time bomb, innocent enough on the surface, just a box. It isn't until you get inside that you find the dynamite intended to blow you apart. I know because for 9 years I was inside the party. I met the red dynamite on its own terms, and one thing I found out while working as an undercover man, you, mister, yes, and you too, lady, you're the target for that red explosion. The explosion it was my job to help prevent. In a moment, listen to Dana Andrews as Matt Cvetic, undercover man. Here is Dana Andrews as Matt Cvetic, FBI undercover man. This story from the confidential file is marked The Dangerous Dollars.
Young Communist League, $6,809.44. Dues paid in full. Contributions up 3.5%.
Good. The Committee for the Protection of the Foreign-Born?
11,200. Dues in full. Contributions down 0.5. Notice this collection from Conrad Hartig's cell is up 100.
I was assigned to the Communist Finance Committee in charge of collections for the district, and I watched the figures mount up on Comrade Nora's adding machine. Money, big money, from Reds and from just plain suckers.
Dues paid monthly, contributions paid as often as could be squeezed out of so-called voluntary donors. Subversive activity is expensive, and it was my job to get the money to pay for it, and to make sure the FBI knew where the money came from and where it went.
Big Jumbo Red Hot. Popcorn. Get your popcorn here, mister. Be a sport. Feed the pigeons.
Sure. Give me an order of 17 peanuts.
17's a lucky number.
For a man who eats red popcorn. Hello, Jay Cox. How's business?
Lousy. But I love blowing this darn whistle.
That's what I like about the FBI. The agents have so much talent.
Never mind my talent. Did you trace that money?
Yeah, I think so. The big portion goes to party headquarters in New York, of course. But there's one other big chunk that is picked up by a special messenger.
Regularly?
Well, for the past 6 weeks anyway.
Who's the messenger? Who gets the money?
I don't know. And the messenger I know only by number. 43. It's a blonde woman. Tall, beautiful if you like the type, and who doesn't. Slavic accent. She's due to make a pickup tonight.
Good. I'll have men waiting to tail her.
Important?
Plenty. This is a hot one, Matt. Meet me in my office tonight at 11. I want to give you a rundown. There's it. Come on, buddy. You've window shopped long enough. Beat it. Make room for the customers. Peanuts. Big Jumbo Red Hots here. Peanuts.
That does it. Here, comrade.
Overall increase of $79.20.
That should satisfy National Headquarters, Comrade Matt.
Please them, perhaps. Satisfy them, no. Okay, Comrade Nora. I think we've done enough for tonight. Let's wrap it up and...
Oh, Comrade Matt, it's her, 43.
Well, good evening, comrades.
Good evening. Your package is there on the desk.
18,000.
And $10. Count it.
I'm sure it's right. Your figures are always right, a sign of your intelligence.
Oh, bully for me.
You're a very interesting man, Comrade Cvetic. Someday we may be able to meet on more social terms and discuss your intriguing nature. Good night, comrade.
Good night.
Comrade, did you see that coat? Mink. And that dress, why, it was outrageously bourgeois. Oh, she should be investigated. I don't trust that one.
You forget she's on special assignment. Undoubtedly, her clothing is a requirement. Well, it's time for us to close up.
Will you walk me home, Matt? Comrade Matt?
What? Oh, well, I'd like to, but not tonight. I want to pick up some things at the drugstore before it closes.
Oh, well, there's one on the way to my place. I wouldn't mind waiting.
Well, sure, only...
I'll make you some coffee, and I have some cake.
All right, Comrade Nora. I'll take you home. No, I didn't want to take Nora home, but I was afraid to be too insistent. It was the usual distrust, the penalty I paid to live. Was Nora's interest because she was lonely, or could she have somehow discovered I was to meet my FBI contact that night? It wasn't until I was entering Nora's apartment that I was reassured of her motive.
Come on in. I want you to meet my children.
Children?
Well, that's what I call them. Here, babies, come to Mama. Oh, here they come.
Holy cats. Cats.
My babies. Aren't they beautiful?
Yeah, it was a pretty tragic sight. A homely girl so starved for affection she adopted cats to take the place of the children she'd never have. As soon as I could, I ducked out, and after a complicated series of turns and doubling back and forth to throw off any possible tail, I went to the Federal Building and up the rear way to the office of my FBI contact, Frank Jaycox.
Oh, hi, Matt. You're late.
Yeah, I had an unexpected delay. What is it, Jaycox?
It's an MVD agent, Krasnov.
He the guy 43 is delivering to?
We think so. Only we don't know that he's a he.
What?
All we have is the name, Krasnov. Otherwise, it's man, woman, or monkey. You pays your money and you take your choice.
We've got men following 43. If she takes that money to Krasnov, you'll know soon whether he's a man or not.
Krasnov's sex is not the problem.
What is?
Sabotage. Krasnov was the commie secret police agent behind a job in a West Coast aircraft plant a while back. Held up production for weeks.
You got proof?
Yeah. We got him nailed if we can find him.
If? Your men are covering 43 like a blanket. She'll lead you to him.
Maybe, but it seems too easy. Krasnov is the Reds' top agent. Word we've gotten is that Krasnov plans to import a small but highly trained group. Specialists in arson, demolition, and murder. Whew. Yeah. It's the kind of organization we can't afford to let get started. And that's the why of it, Matt. Krasnov and that money have got to be stopped.
Greenview 61124. Who's calling? Just a moment. Comrade Matt, it's a Mr. Jorgensen for you.
I'll take it here. I've got it, Nora.
Of course, I'm sorry.
Hello, Mr. Jorgensen. I didn't expect you to call me here.
I know it's dangerous, Matt, but I had to talk to you fast.
Oh, your wife's operation didn't go too well last night?
You guessed it.
Where was it done?
43 was trailed to a small resort called Skyline Rancho, up in the mountains about 100 miles north of here. The resort is a commie hang-on. No one can get past the desk unless he's a Red.
Oh. Have you tried another doctor?
If you mean force, no.
So?
So we've got to get an agent inside that resort. Someone who can move around, find out which one of the guests or employees is Krasnov, where the money is, what Krasnov plans to do with it.
It sounds like a tough operation. You'd better have a good surgeon.
We have.
Who?
You.
What?
Sorry, Matt, but you're the only one who can do it. As a commie, you can get in. You've got a vacation coming. Take it. At Skyline Rancho.
Well, there it was, right in my lap. It was that kind of assignment, so the first thing I did was to make sure my life insurance policies were paid up. The next thing was to get off from work without arousing suspicion. Comrade Nora, my assistant, made it easy.
Comrade Matt, here are the vouchers for... Matt, what's the matter? You look ill.
Oh, I guess I'm just tired out. Oh, what a headache I got.
You should take a rest. Oh, I can handle things for a few days without any problem at all.
Do you think you could? You wouldn't mind?
Oh, certainly not. You know I'd do anything for you.
Yeah. I wonder where I could go.
Oh, goodness, there's plenty of places to go, Comrade Matt. There's Chateau Regal, Victor's Ski Lodge, Skyline Rancho, or...
Skyline Rancho. Well, sounds like it might be nice.
Oh, it is. And it's exclusive, too. The owner's a party member, and he only lets in other members or fellow travelers. Why don't you go there? You'd love it.
I bet I will. All right, comrade, you've made up my mind. I'll go.
Welcome to Skyline Rancho, Mr.
Cvetic. Here.
Thank you. I'm Mr. Hungerford, the owner. Odd coincidence, you're coming to this resort?
It was well recommended. I'd never heard of it.
Who recommended it? I want to write and thank them.
Nora Bayless, my assistant. Why not call her? You'll get the answers quicker.
You're a clever one. Come with me. I'll show you around.
Skyline Rancho turned out to be a small group of bungalows, a stable, and a main lodge situated on a flat, heavily wooded mesa. After seeing my bag stowed in bungalow number 8, I let the suave Hungerford take me to the main lodge to meet the other guests.
Hungerford, there you are. Let's go outside. Coma Benaices is clear tonight, and Vega is unusually bright.
Later, Charlie. Matt Cvetic, Charlie Grace, our amateur astronomer.
Oh, hello. Do you like to watch the stars, Mr. Cvetic?
Not too much, Mr. Grace.
Oh, dear. No one seems to care about the things in our heavens. It's just disgraceful.
Which one? You met them all, but which one was Krasnov, the MVD agent? The last one I met was a squat ape of a man with black fingernails and an expression like the devil with a hangover.
This is Mr. Kane, Matt Cvetic.
Hi. Hi. Been here long?
Nah.
Well, it's nice to see you're having such a happy time. Later that night, I decided to make my own private survey of the resort. I found nothing interesting around the bungalows, and the stables contained nothing but horses. But when I left the stable, I found myself pinned in the brilliance of two powerful flashlights that blinded me.
It's late, Cvetic. You'd better go to bed. This night air's cold. It could be the death of you.
Back to Dana Andrews, starring as Matt Cvetic in I Was a Communist for the FBI, and the second act of our story.
So far, I was getting no place in my search for the MVD agent Krasnov. All I had done was met a few guests at Skyline Rancho, and from the darkness received a warning about which I was still worried the next morning as I shaved. Oh, for the love of Pete. Now what? Come!
Well, how are you this morning, Mr. Cvetic?
None the better for that warning last night.
Warning?
Don't be coy. You're not the type.
But
I recognized your voice. Look, I'm on vacation. What your deal is here, I don't know and care less. But I'm an important party member. I don't like being treated this way without reason.
I have reason. It's in your living room. Good morning.
Now, what did that mean? You.
Me.
What are you doing in my bungalow, Comrade 43?
I like being in your bungalow.
Well, why?
Why not?
Oh, because it's early morning and
Now, what have you got against morning?
Oh, nothing, but... Yeah?
Matt?
Yeah. Hello, Mr. Jorgensen.
How are things with your mother?
All right. She had a few early complications, but at the moment she's holding her own.
Doctor's diagnosis very dangerous?
Worse than expected by the symptoms. I'll let you know how things develop, Mr. Jorgensen. So for heaven's sake, stop calling me.
I understand. I'll wait for your call.
That bum.
What is it, Matt?
Oh, nothing. Mom's been a little sick, and this friend of hers keeps calling me to find out how she is.
Well, let's forget other people's troubles and work on our own.
Yeah, only start with you being the reason for me being threatened last night.
I will if you sit here beside me.
Okay. Now make it good, Comrade 43.
I'll begin with my name. It's Connie Marachek.
You know mine?
Yes. And you know I'm on special assignment for the party.
What?
Sorry, Matt, it's secret, even to you. But it's very important to the party, so much so that when I saw you up here, well, let's say the coincidence made me suspicious. I told Hungerford.
And when he saw me taking a walk around in the dark, he pulled that flashlight routine.
It was his idea of teaching you a lesson. I apologize, Matt. I should have waited before saying anything to Hungerford.
I agree to that. Threats give me a headache.
Oh? Why don't you lie down and put your head in my lap, Let me rub your temples.
Sure. Go to it. It's a nice lap.
You like me just a little, Matt?
You ever find a man who didn't?
I never found a man like you before.
Well? Connie. What would have happened if Hungerford had decided I was really a spy?
He'd have shot you, I guess. Oh, but you're not a spy, so let's not talk about it anymore.
What'll we talk about?
Why talk at all? Head feel better, darling?
What head?
I'd better go. But do me a favor, Matt. Those walks, don't take them.
Connie gave me a smile that could have melted a 10-foot snowdrift and left me with one very positive determination: to take that walk everyone was so worried about. I ran into my first obstacle in front of my bungalow, a hollow-chested plaid coat supporting 2 binocular cases and waving a long, jaunted brass telescope.
Well, good morning, good morning. Who are you?
It's afternoon, and we've met, Mr. Grace.
Oh, yes, Mr. Cvetic, I remember now. Oh, my goodness, call me Charlie. Everybody calls me Charlie.
Good for them. Bye.
Don't go. I want to show you something.
I've seen it. Why don't you toddle on to the main lodge, Charlie? Your aunt's waiting. Charlie Grace gone, I headed in the opposite direction, past the stables, searching for whatever it was I wasn't supposed to see. My first success was a faint path leading into the trees, a footpath. 2 miles through the trees, I found Krasnoff's secret, a tiny airstrip and camouflaged hangar. In the hangar, a powerful black cabin plane equipped with extra wing tanks, all full to the top. It was information worth a big risk. I hurried back and took the risk by calling my FBI contact Jaycox from a payphone in the lobby of the main lodge.
Jorgensen speaking.
Jay, this is Matt. I'm sorry, but this is hot and I can't double-talk it.
Go.
Krasnoff's got a plane stashed out on an airstrip back in the trees. A cabin plane. No NC number. It's painted black. Extra tanks, all full. A guy staying here named Kane. His nails are full of black grease. I figure he's the mechanic.
Uh-huh. Krasnoff?
I haven't spotted him yet, but I'm playing footsies with his messenger, 43. Her name's Connie Marachek.
Marachek, got it. You'd better get Krasnoff fast. Black plane, night flight, wing tanks, long flight probably to Canada or Mexico.
Yeah.
Hate to ask you to do this, Matt, but you'd better jimmy that plane first thing.
Do what?
You have to. We can't let him escape now. You know anything about planes?
They got wings and they fly.
In that case, open the engine cover, reach in and grab something.
Yeah, then what?
Pull. If it comes loose, you're right.
It was nearly dark when I made it back to the plane, and my luck held as I opened the engine cover and yanked loose a copper tube that spewed gasoline. It was the plane's fuel line, and that was when my luck started to run out, for across the clearing I could see Hungerford and Kane coming toward the hangar. I retreated into the dubious shelter of some boxes in a far corner and waited.
Come on, Kane. Let's get this plane out on the field.
Wait till I get the tool room open. I want to give the motor a last check out.
Oh, let that go, Kane. You've checked it a dozen times already.
But I want to be...
I said forget it. Now, come on. Help me roll the plane down to the end of the strip so Krasnoff can take off without delay.
I watched as the plane was pushed out and down the field several hundred yards. It was turned into the wind, ready to take off, so they thought. When the 2 men headed back to the hangar, I got an idea. I tied a long piece of wire to a heavy wrench on the table inside the windowless tool room, ran the loose wire out to my hiding place among the boxes. When Hungerford and Kane entered the hangar, I yanked the wire so it pulled the wrench off the table in the tool room.
What's that?
It came from the tool room.
Let's take a look.
It was close timing. When Hungerford and Kane moved cautiously into the tool room, I came out from behind the boxes and moved to the open door, then...
Hey, what is this? Open this door!
The room had no windows, so I knew the 2 Reds were in for keeps until that door was opened. Scratch 2. Next stop, Krasnoff. But you have to flush a quail before you can shoot it. So back at the lodge, I dug up the last of my nerve for a bluff that had my heart pounding like a pneumatic drill.
Matt, what's the matter? You look so...
Connie, I've got to talk to you.
What is it, Matt?
Look, I don't know what assignment you're on, but if it's got anything to do with someone named Krasnoff, Get him out of here in a hurry.
Why?
FBI men, 2 of them. I overheard them talking.
Where? Are you sure?
I'm sure. One of them followed Hungerford and Kane into the woods back of the stables, and the other left. Said he was going to bring up the rest.
Rest?
Where they talk, they've got a whole army coming in.
But they can't. That is, we have to get away before...
We? You mean this Krasnov person and you?
Yes. You may as well know the whole thing now, Matt. You've proven I can trust you. The money I delivered went to Krasnov for him to use in organizing a sabotage ring.
Charlie, come here, quick.
Of course, my dear, but do be quick. I want to plot the position of Sagittarius.
You can drop the act. Matt, this is Major Krasnov of the secret police. Tell him what you told me.
When Connie spoke, Charlie Grace changed, and suddenly the harmless stargazer didn't seem quite so harmless. After I told my story, the MVD agent went into action, racing to his bungalow and picking up a valise. Then, with Connie in tow, he vanished down the path to the airfield. I waited near the stables, and in 16 minutes by my watch, they were back, running.
Matt, the plane won't work.
The FBI man broke the fuel line. We'll have to use a car.
No, you...
Huh?
I mean, that is, the FBI will be watching the road.
Yes, very probable. We'll have to get out of here before they move in.
Wait a minute. I've got it. Take horses. You can shortcut down the mountain to Asheville and catch the train there for the city.
Of course. They won't be expecting us to use horses.
True. And we can charter a plane in the city. Thanks, Comrade Cvetic. You've been a great help.
It was my pleasure, Major Krasnov. Believe me. I watched Krasnov and Connie ride their horses into the darkness. Then, in the main lodge, I went to the payphone and made a call that was a real pleasure.
Jorgensen.
Hi, Jay. Better meet the train coming in from Asheville. Couple of people on it you'll want to see.
Krasnov?
Yeah. I found out. He's a he. You'll know him. He'll be with Connie Marichek. Oh, and he'll be carrying a valise. Take good care of it. It's full of happy cabbage.
Don't worry, we'll take care of it.
And while you're at it, send a squad of men up here to make a phony raid to cover my story. They'll find 2 men locked in the tool room of the hangar.
Got it. You coming back to the city?
Sure. I've got to get back to my little red cabbage patch. There it was, another fragment of the story. A man's life is made up of bits and pieces. Only a purpose can give them meaning. I found my purpose in the underground fight against communism. It was no fun, but don't mistake me. It was worth it to know I was helping in the struggle to keep freedom alive. It was worth it even though it cost me my friends and made me a man who always had to walk alone.
Our star, Dana Andrews, will return in just a moment.
This is Dana Andrews. Many of the stories of Matt Cvetic's underground war against communism are dramatizations of incidents from Matt Cvetic's own confidential file, compiled during the 9 years he was a communist for the FBI. To protect the innocent, all names, dates, and localities have been changed. Next week, we'll bring you another exciting adventure of Matt Cvetic. We hope you'll join us.
In Cvetic's defense, if he did do a third of what we've heard in these shows, and he was undergoing the pressure, it's entirely possible that he cracked from the pressure. But whatever happened, we know now that it was a difficult time during those Cold War years. 73 years ago, July 9th, 1952, Dana Andrews. I was a communist for the FBI, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. In just a moment, we'll go back almost 90 years for an episode of Calling All Cars.
Lowe's knows July 4th savings are worth celebrating. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
A person-to-person expression of international goodwill. That's the way many prominent people, including President Truman and General Eisenhower, have described CARE, the agency that sends needed food packages overseas. CARE offers food and clothing packages which provide more per dollar than individuals can send any other way. Each food package is designed to supplement the rations of a family of 4 for 1 month. Orders placed in the United States are air-mailed to designated countries, and deliveries are made from local CARE warehouses. If you'd like to order a CARE package, just send $10 to CARE, New York. Give your name and address and specify to whom you're sending the package. On delivery, you receive a signed receipt.
Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox continues now with the West Coast program Calling All Cars. From 89 years ago, July 9th, 1936, The Crimson Riddle.
Calling All Cars, a copyrighted program created by the Rio Grande Oil Company.
Calling all cars, San Francisco Police calling all cars. Wanted in connection with murder in Visitation Valley. Young girl, described as pretty, black hair, medium height, wearing green dress. Arrest and hold. That is all.
Every listener to this program knows that it is sponsored by Rio Grande Cracked Gasoline. You also know that many, many cities and counties specify Rio Grande Cracked, that it powers more police and emergency cars than any other brand everywhere it is sold. But do you know what a difference this same gasoline makes in the feel of your own car? You've heard us talk about police car performance. But do you realize that this is not just an advertising phrase? What can we do to induce you to use the same gasoline that police and emergency cars use? Let us remind you that Rio Grande Cracked costs no more than other quality gasolines. And city operating records prove conclusively that it delivers more miles to the gallon than lower quality gasolines. You get greater speed from your car. You will feel the thrill of greater power under the hood. Your motor will be cooler, more efficient, and you'll feel less vibration. Will you give us an opportunity to prove all this to you? Drive into any Rio Grande station, fill up with cracked gasoline, and you'll agree there's a world of difference. Thank you. And now it is our pleasure to present the Sheriff of San Francisco County, who will speak to you from the studio of station KFRC in San Francisco, Sheriff Murphy.
Good evening. If ever a criminal case proves that crime does not pay, the one you are about to hear does. The guilty ones are still serving lifetime sentences behind the thick gray walls of San Quentin Prison. I particularly remember this crime because I was acquainted with one of the relatives of the victim who was an old man living by himself, injuring no one, engaged in the peaceful pursuit of raising goats and selling the milk for a bare livelihood. The criminals did not obtain a single cent from him, for he had no money. But listen to how it happened.
Just a few miles outside the bustling mass of people
the never-ending streams of noisy traffic, the towering buildings that make up the harbor city San Francisco, lies a small sloping valley. Although today it has become a thriving little community, at the time this case occurred, it was dotted here and there with tiny sun-baked shacks and inhabited mostly by sheep and goat herders. It was here in one of the tumble-down houses that Gaetano Marcelli lived, a recluse, his nearest neighbor some 300 yards away. Nearly 70 years old, Marcelli supports himself by selling milk from his small herd of goats to the inhabitants of the valley and to the occasional tourists who happen to stop in and refresh themselves before continuing their journey. One morning in September, Gaetano was tending to a sick goat when he hears a car approaching. Looking up, he sees it stop in front of his place, sees two men and a girl get out and walk toward him.
Hello, old timer. You got some nice fresh goat's milk?
I no got none of the 2 days long, but maybe from yesterday I got some. I think it is still fresh.
That'd be all right, Pop. We've never tasted any goat's milk, and we thought we'd like to try it.
All right. You come into the house. I'm a find you some finer goat's milk, yeah.
Okay. That suits us. Have you? Sure. Perfect.
You like to sit down, eh? Maybe the lady, she's tired.
Oh, no. No, I'm all right, thank you. I'd rather stand.
Yeah, don't worry about her. Now, let's get some milk.
All right. It is here in this sack over here.
How about it, Johnny? Let's stop this stalling. Now, keep your shirt on. I'll take care of him when he brings the milk.
All right, here you are, mister. It ain't quite so fresh, but she's good and cold.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Now, suppose you tell us where you keep that dough you've got hidden around here.
What's that?
You heard him. Where's your money? We know you got plenty, and we're here to relieve you of it.
Why, you must make a mistake. I got no money. I only got this goat's milk.
Now, listen to me, old-timer. Huh? We happen to know you've got $10,000 in cash hidden around this dump of yours somewhere.
Now, listen.
And we're not leaving till we get it, see? Now, how about it?
I'm going to tell you, mister.
You want it? You want to be a good boy and tell us where it's hidden, or do we have to get tough?
Oh, Johnny, you promised you wouldn't.
Shut up, Edie. I'll handle this my own way. Oh, my silly, kick in and make it fast.
I'm a swear to you, I got no money. I got nothing but a good milk on me.
Oh, Johnny.
Shut up. I'll make this old buzzer talk if I have to break every bone in his mangy body.
Please, miss, I tell you the truth. Please, please, don't hit me no more. I'm an old man.
All right. Stop crying and tell us where you got that dough.
No, please, I can't give you no money. I ain't got no money, I tell you.
This old bird wants to sing. I'll show you what we'll do. Hand me that crap.
Johnny, you promised you wouldn't hurt the old man. You gave me your word.
I said I wouldn't hurt him if he talked.
No.
You won't talk,
No, please, no. What are you going to do with that crap?
You tell me where the money is?
I ain't got no money. On the
You asked for it.
No, Johnny.
Tell him I'm running up the whole house. I didn't know. Yeah, thanks for the help, Phil. Now tear this place apart. That dough's around here somewhere.
San Francisco Police Department.
I want to report a murder.
One moment, please. I'll connect you with homicide.
Homicide Department, McGinn speaking.
Hello. This is Sidney Morris out in Visitation Valley. There's been a murder out here. At least I think it's a murder.
All right, young fellow, one thing at a time. Where exactly are you now?
Out at old Gaetano Marcelli's place. It's at 605 Wallace Avenue.
605 Wallace Avenue. All right, go ahead.
Well, my sister-in-law found the old man a few minutes ago lying in a pool of blood in his house. He's beaten up something awful.
Did you try to talk to him or anything?
Oh, no, sir. He's not able to talk. I think he's dead.
All right, you stay right there. And don't touch anything, understand?
Well, don't worry, I won't.
Good, I'll be right out. Hey, Mac.
Yes, sir.
Send an ambulance out to this address right away. Tell the boys to stand by if the guy is dead. If not, take him in and patch him up. I'll be out there about the time they are.
By the time Lieutenant McGinn arrives at the little shack, the ambulance crew has already taken the unconscious but still living Marcelli to the hospital. McGinn asks Deputy District Attorney Walter Schiller to go to the hospital and question the victim, then settles down to investigation of the facts at the shack.
Miss Jones, you were the person who discovered the old man, I believe.
Yes, sir.
I suppose you tell me about it. Just what happened.
Well, I've been buying goat's milk from him every day for almost a year. So today I came over to get some and found him that way, all beaten and crushed. Oh, Lieutenant, it's awful.
Yes, of course, I know. I can appreciate how you must feel. Now, have you any idea who might have done this?
No, sir. There just doesn't seem to be any reason for it. Why, old Gaetano was one of the most harmless people I've ever known. He couldn't have had any enemies.
No, and yet someone beat him up. That doesn't quite jive, does it?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, that's all right, miss. I won't need you anymore. Suppose you go home and get some rest. You look as though you needed some.
Thank you, Lieutenant. I'm sorry to be such a crybaby.
Oh, think nothing of it. You just run along now, and thanks for the help.
Beg pardon, Lieutenant, but there's a woman here says she knows something about this. You want to talk to her?
Why, certainly, Sergeant.
Yes, sir. This is Lieutenant McGinn, ma'am. He's in charge here. You just tell him what you know.
Well, I don't know that it has anything to do with all this, really, but yesterday in the late afternoon sometime, I seen a car come up and pass Gaetano's house real slow. And then a few minutes later, it come back by again and stopped. Just down the road there where I could see it plain as day.
Mm-hmm. Go on.
Well, there was a couple of young men in it and a girl. A pretty girl she was, too.
Well, what makes you think they had anything to do with this?
Oh, they was acting funny like, peering over at Gaetano's place and talking among themselves. They looked suspicious to me.
Can you give me any sort of a description of them?
Well, best as I could see, the girl had on a bright green dress. And she had black hair. Very black hair.
You notice anything about the car?
I ain't much at knowing one from another. It had white tires, though. I remember that.
White tires? Pardon me a moment, ma'am. Hey, Sergeant. Hey, yes, sir. Go find the nearest phone and call headquarters. Tell them to get out a general search for a car with white wall tires. Also a girl with black hair wearing a bright green dress. And make it fast.
Yes, sir.
Also have every car rental place in town checked. Every garage.
Yes, sir.
Eddie.
Yes, Lieutenant.
You stick around here. Question everybody who knows anything and report to me. I'm going over to the hospital and see the old man, if he's still with us.
And at the hospital, Detective Lieutenant McGinn joins Deputy Schiller at the bedside of old Gaetano Marcelli. It is obvious that the old man has only a few hours of life left.
Gaetano, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear that. I hear, but I got no money. No, only got the milk.
He's delirious.
If only he could get to tell me. Tell me who it was. Gaetano, now listen to me. Who did this, Gaetano? Who hit you?
No money. Only got the milk. Oh, please, make don't hit me no more, please.
No use, Alan. You can't get anything out of him.
I'm afraid you're right, Walter. If only he could remember, it might clear the whole thing up.
Oh, I've tried to talk to him ever since I got out here. So far, he doesn't do anything but mumble about money and goat's milk.
Yeah, I heard.
They want my money. They beat me real bad. Real bad.
He's talking. Who beat you, Gaetano? Try to think. We want to help you.
They beat me. The man and the girl, she was kind of pretty, but they beat me. Oh, beat me with clubs. Bad. Beat me.
You get that, Walter?
Yeah.
He says there was a girl. And the people I talked to out there gave me a description of a pretty girl and two men who were around the place today. Come on.
Okay.
I'm going out to look for a car with white tires driven by two men and a girl in a green dress.
All that day, Lieutenant McGinn and Deputy Schiller make the rounds of garages. You drive rental agencies. Keep an alert eye out for the wanted car and occupants, but no trace of it can be found. The following morning, Gaetano Marcelli dies, having given no further clue as to the identity of his assailants. And McGinn turns with more determination than ever to the task of locating the car. At last, 2 days after the murder, he approaches his 15th rental place for the day. Addresses the manager.
How do you do? You're the manager of this place?
Yeah, that's me. What can I do for you? Rent you a nice car?
Well, not exactly. I'm looking for a car, though. A car with white tires on it.
White tires? You mean you want white tires? Sure, I have just the thing.
You have one with white tires?
Sure, why not?
Ah, this is too good to be true.
What's that?
Oh, I was just thinking out loud. I'd like to introduce myself. Detective Lieutenant McGinn of the San Francisco Police.
A policeman, sir? What have I done? The policeman should be asking me questions.
You don't have to worry. I don't know what you've done, and I don't care. What I really want is the names of the people who last rented that car with white tires, and the date it was rented out.
Sure, that's easy. I got it right here in my books.
Fine.
Let me see now.
Would you have any idea about when it might have been out?
Yeah, I think so. This is the 4th, isn't it?
That's right.
2 days ago would be the 2nd. Suppose you look around the 2nd of this month.
Sure. August the 9th, August the 20th, September. Here we are. September the 2nd. That's a Chrysler Roadster. Let's see. Yeah, it was out on the 2nd.
When did it go out?
Wait a minute. Here it is, on the 1st.
Who rented it?
The names here are Philip Mangarine and John Cusack. Oh, yeah, I remember them now. They was the fellows I had a little trouble about money with.
What was that?
Well, they said they'd bring me some money when they came back, but they didn't. I had a terrible time getting them to pay.
You got their addresses there?
Sure, right here in black on white.
Good. I'll take this book with me. It might be important.
Oh, but I got to have that on my business.
Don't worry. We'll take good care of it. You can have it back as soon as I'm through with it. But right now, I need it more than you do.
Returning to his office, McGinn locks the valuable book in his safe and, taking 2 officers with him, proceeds at once to the address given by Philip Mangarine.
Here's the place, boys. I don't think we'll have any trouble, but we'll stand by in case. Mr. Mangarine?
Yes?
Put on your hat. You're taking a ride with us.
What's this all about?
Police officers, Mangarine. Now, come on, make it fast.
What's the charge?
Suspicion of murder. Take him in, boys.
And a few minutes later, at another rooming house...
All right, Cusack. No use talking. You're coming with us. And the less you say about it, the better.
Yeah, but what's it all about?
Funny how you fellows always say the same thing. But if you're interested, we're arresting you on suspicion of murder.
Murder?
Nasty word, isn't it, Cusack? All right, come on, get going.
Taking the protesting Johnny Cusack directly to his office, McGinn has Mangarine brought in, too, and together the 2 men sit before him, an instant denial springing to their lips at every question.
What was your idea in bumping off the old man? That's what I'd like to know.
It's a bum beef. We didn't bump him off. Not anyone else. You got the wrong guys.
Oh, I don't think so. You boys are in a pretty tight spot. We know more about all this than you think we do.
Don't let him bluff you. Phil, he hasn't got anything on us and he knows it.
He's not bluffing anybody.
Right. And neither are you boys. Why don't you tell me the truth and get it over with?
We're telling you the truth.
You boys stick pretty close together, don't you? Well, just where were you on the morning of September the 2nd?
I don't remember.
Maybe I can refresh your memory for you. Have you ever seen this book before?
No.
Sure?
Yeah, I said no.
How about you, Cusack?
Yeah, I never seen it either.
Well, now, isn't that strange?
Yeah, what's so strange about it?
Simply the fact that both your names are written in it, as well as your addresses.
What? Where'd you get that book?
Oh, you begin to remember it now, huh?
I didn't say that. Let me see it closer.
Why, sure. Here, help yourself.
Oh, yeah. Sure, I've seen this before. Only I didn't recognize it at first.
How about you, Mangarino?
Yeah, I remember it now, man. It's from that auto rental place.
Yeah, that's right. Now, what I want to know is, where did you go on the day you rented that car?
Well, we just drove around a bit. Didn't go anywhere in particular.
Didn't drive out to Visitation Valley by any chance, did you?
Why, I don't think so, no.
You don't think so? Don't you know where you drove?
I can't exactly remember everywhere we went.
Who was the young girl with you?
What young girl?
Don't tell me you've forgotten that, too. You certainly have a pretty bad memory. How about you, Mangarine? You remember the young lady?
Well,
All right, boys, all right. Spill it. Run into a dead end, and you might as well tell me all about it.
Well, I don't see what difference it makes if we did have our dame with us. We didn't do anything wrong.
Of course not. What was her name?
Edith.
Edith what?
Watson.
Now we're getting places. Where does this Edith live?
Listen, what do you have to go mixing her up in this for? She was just out riding with us, I'm telling you.
I know. Now, where does she live?
Over on Larkin Street, the Bryn Mawr apartment.
Thanks. Well, I guess you boys can go back to yourselves until I talk to your girlfriend. And while you're there, think it over. Maybe that by the time I'm back, you'll have remembered a little more all about this.
But upon arriving at the Bryn Mawr, McGinn is met by an elderly woman who says she is the girl's mother.
I've come to have a little talk with your daughter, ma'am. Is she in?
Why, no. Edith isn't living here anymore. That is, not at the present time.
Well, could you tell me where I might find her?
Well, I'm afraid I can't. You see, Edith told me she wanted to visit a friend of hers who lives in Los Angeles. And the other day, that is, 2 days ago, she packed up and left. I don't know exactly where she's staying down there.
Didn't she give you any idea where you could reach her? Any forwarding address?
Well, she mentioned the Whitehall apartment, but I couldn't say for sure whether that's where she is or not. What is it you wanted?
Oh, nothing important, ma'am. Just wanted to talk to her, that's all. But if she's in Los Angeles, well, I guess I'll just have to wait till she comes back here. Well, thanks for the information anyhow.
Well, you're quite welcome. Only I'd like to know why you wanted to talk to her.
Oh, it was nothing important, really. Don't give it another thought. If she writes you or anything, why, just jot down her address and maybe I'll come back to see her later. Good day, ma'am. The Homicide Squad, Los Angeles Police. Please send someone to Whitehall Apartments, your city, to pick up girl. Named Edith Watson. Black hair, wearing green dress. This girl wanted in connection with murder. Hold and notify this department. Begin, Homicide Department, San Francisco Police.
And upon receipt of this message, Lieutenant Hamilton of the Los Angeles Police Department, in company with a fellow officer, go at once to the apartment house where they interview the landlady. Discover that a tenant of hers has a guest, a young girl with black hair. Climbing the stairs, the detectives stop in front of one of the doors. Then...
Who is it?
Police, ma'am. Open the door.
Oh, well, just a minute. Yes,
You the party that lives here?
yes.
You have a guest staying with you, is that right?
Why, yes, a friend of mine.
Is she in now?
Why, yes, do you want to speak to her?
If you don't mind.
Edith? Oh, yes? There's a man here to see you.
Oh, all right, I'm coming. Yes? What is it?
They're policemen.
Police?
I'm afraid you'll have to come along with us, miss. We got orders to arrest you for the San Francisco police.
Oh, but I haven't done anything.
Yeah, that's all right, ma'am. We can talk about that later. Right now, we're in kind of a hurry. And, you'd better come along, too, miss. Just a matter of formality, of course.
Well, I don't know what Edith is mixed up in, but of course I'll come.
That's fine. All right. Let's go.
Next day, Edith is taken to San Francisco and turned over to Lieutenant McGinn. And McGinn, wise to the ways of a woman, questions her in his office.
Sit down, Edith.
Thank you.
There are just a few things I want to talk to you about. And if you'll answer them truthfully, why, this won't take long.
Yes, sir.
In the first place, why did you go to Los Angeles?
Why? Why, I don't know. I've wanted to go down there for a visit for a long time, and this seemed like a good time to do it.
Why at this particular time? Why not before?
Before what?
Before what happened out in Visitation Valley.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Would you like me to tell you about it?
Why?
Well, it isn't a very pretty story. It's about an old man. So old he couldn't defend himself. Who got beaten with a club until he didn't have a bone left in his body that wasn't broken.
Oh, please.
Not a very pretty picture, is it, Edith?
It's horrible.
Why don't you save yourself the details and tell me exactly what happened out there that day?
I asked them not to hit him. I pleaded with them, but they wouldn't listen to me.
And what happened?
They beat him and beat him and kept asking him where his money was hidden. And he kept saying that he didn't have any money and kept begging them not to hit him. And they kept right on.
They, you mean Cusack and Mangarin?
Yes, they did it. I don't care what they think. I hate them. They beat him.
Will you testify to this in court, Edith?
In court? Do I have to say that in front of them?
Think of what they did.
Yes. Think of what they did. All right. I'll tell everything. And I hope they hang them. I hope they hang them.
Armed with this confession and a promise that Edith will testify in court, McGinn closets himself with prosecuting attorney Peter Mullins. And the two of them spend hours preparing a foolproof case against Mangarin and Cusack.
I don't see how we can slip up on this, Alan. It's perfect.
Yeah, I know it's perfect. But I don't want to take any chances. I've had too many perfect cases suddenly blow up in my face when some slippery mouthpiece pulled a lot of strings.
I know. I've had the same thing happen to me.
Well, the main idea is to let those two think they have us bluffed. That's why I don't want to tell them about the girl's confession. They might be able to think up some story between now and the time we go to trial.
You mean you want her for a nation in the hole, eh?
Exactly. We'll introduce as much evidence against them as we can from various witnesses and such, and then for the grand finale.
I get it. You've got a conviction practically in your hands, Alan.
Well, it all depends on you when we get into court. You're the one who does the talking there. I'm just a detective.
Well, don't worry. With a case like this, I can't lose.
And one day in Judge J.J. Trabuco's court in San Francisco, the trial begins. In a steady line, the witnesses are sworn in, their testimony given. First comes a milkman who says,
Sure. I seen him leaving Marcelli's house that morning, but I didn't think nothing of it. Lots of times people stop by to buy some goat's milk from the old man. If I'd have known what was going on, I'd have sure stopped him, and you can bet your life on that.
Next witness is a friend of Cusack's who says,
Yes, sir. I saw Johnny driving a car with white tires. I yelled at him, but he didn't seem to want to see me. He was with that other fellow there and then the girl.
One after another, witnesses are produced, and each one tightens the noose around the prisoner's neck. And then, late one afternoon, after 3 days of the trial, prosecuting Mullins plays his final card.
I should like to call Miss Edith Watson to the stand, please.
Miss Edith Watson. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
I do.
Take the witness chair, please.
What's the idea of putting her on the stand? What's that dame up to? I don't know, but I don't like it.
Miss Watson,
Listen.
I want you to tell the jury, in your own words, exactly what happened in Gaetano Marcella's house the morning in question.
Well, Johnny Cusack and Phil Mangarine and I drove out to the old man's house. We were going to rob him, but I didn't know there was going to be any violence. I thought they were just going to rob him.
You finished!
But when the old man said he didn't have any more, before he started to beat him, I begged him to stop. Johnny's father could
Off with that little crap! Off with this what you can't watch! The guy's
But talk she does. And when she is through, there is no doubt in the jurors' minds as to what verdict to bring in. After only 15 minutes, they return with a verdict of guilty and a recommendation for leniency for the girl. And as a result, the following day, Judge Trabuco pronounces sentence.
Philip Mangarine, John Cusack, stand and face the court. Before I pass judgment on you, have you anything to say?
Yeah, but it wouldn't do no good.
Very well. You have been found guilty of first-degree murder. Unfortunately, the members of the jury have made it impossible for me to give you the sentence you deserve. However, I can do the next best. John Cusack and Philip Mangarine, for the murder of Gaetano Marcelli, I sentence you to life imprisonment in the state penitentiary.
And a few days later, Edith Watson is given a sentence of 10 years, suspended, and put on probation. Judge Trabuco explaining his actions by saying,
In turning state evidence, this girl's testimony was instrumental in convicting the actual killers. Also, it has never been shown that she was in any way connected with the murder, although she was a party to the attempted robbery. Therefore, I feel that a long-term probation would serve a much better purpose than a jail sentence.
Calling All Cars invites every boy and girl to join the Junior Police Department. We offer you a complete detective outfit free. Get Dad or Mother or one of your neighbors to drive you into your neighborhood Rio Grande station. Ask for your free copy of the Calling All Cars news and learn all about Rio Grande's 14 free gifts. We owe a great deal to you millions of boys and girls who listen to this program. You have induced your parents to try Rio Grande Cracked, and hundreds of letters testify to the unusual distinctive qualities of this gasoline. All we ask is that you give Rio Grande Cracked a fair trial. We are confident that your car will develop greater speed and power and that you'll get a new thrill out of Rio Grande's police car performance. There's another big value at all Rio Grande stations, and that is Sinclair Motor Oil. When you get your next crankcase drain, give your Rio Grande dealer the job. He'll refill with Sinclair motor oil from refinery-sealed cans, and you'll quickly discover your motor runs smoother, cooler, and that you need seldom add another quart. That's because all the impurities are removed from Sinclair motor oil. Those elements that cause carbon, that gum up your valves, that burn away so easily in hot motors, are already extracted from Sinclair motor oil, leaving only a pure oil that gives you more miles for your money than ever before.
Calling all cars, San Francisco Police calling all cars. Cancellation broadcast 137. Suspects in this case now in custody. That is all.
This is your narrator, Frederick Lindsley, bidding you good night for the Rio Grande Oil Company.
89 years ago, from the start of what William N. Robeson called the true golden age of radio. Where we consider it from 1935 to 1962, Robeson really only considered from 1938 to 1945 as being those golden years. He was in all of them. From all the way from the very beginning, shows like this, all the way Big Town, that show, which started with G. Robinson on radio, all the way to the end, Suspense and Escape. William N. Robeson passing away in 1995 at the age of 88. Alzheimer's, sadly. William N. Robeson produced Calling All Cars, as it was originally broadcast 89 years ago today. It was July 9th, 1936, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. We'll wrap it up with another great show from the Golden Era, Lum and Abner.
Lowe's knows July 4th savings are worth celebrating. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.
You know, defense is one job we can't put off. Because if we want security for our home and country tomorrow, we've got to do something about it today. How? By investing in United States savings bonds. You'll get a return of $4 for every $3 you put in, and in less than 10 years. In addition, you can hold your bonds beyond maturity and earn further interest. 3% interest compounded semi-annually for as long as 10 additional years. Sign up today for freedom. Join the payroll savings plan or the bond-a-month plan. You'll feel more secure tomorrow if you buy United States savings bonds today.
And we go back 83 years to wrap up this edition of Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox and an episode of Lum and Abner. 83 years ago today, July 9th, 1942. Who is the Black Pelican?
The makers of Alka-Seltzer bring you Lum and Abner. You know, I've got an idea that if the weatherman gives us a break this weekend, most of us who have a little time off will be looking for a pleasant way to spend it. Maybe you'll take the family on an all-day picnic, or you may spend your time puttering around the house, in the yard, or on the golf course. Well, we hope you have a fine time whatever you do. We hope, too, that if you should work or play too hard, you'll remember all the things we've said about Alka-Seltzer. Because Alka-Seltzer offers such fast, pleasant relief. for so many of the common complaints that sometimes follow when we sort of let ourselves go. Whether a headache, a touch of acid indigestion, muscular aches and pains, or morning after misery comes along to spoil the pleasant memory of the fun you've had, drink a glass of sparkling, refreshing Alka-Seltzer. See how quickly it can help you feel better. Try it, won't you? Remember, you can get Alka-Seltzer at all drugstores, by the package, and also by the glass at the soda fountain. Now, let's see what's going on down in Pine Ridge. Well, the little fellow that was left quite mysteriously in Lum and Abner's care may be only a baby, but already he has complicated the old fellow's way of life considerably. He has Abner trying to solve the mysteries of preparing baby food, and Lum wearing Mother Hubbard dresses to stop him from crying. To add to these worries, Abner still has heard nothing from his missing wife and daughter, nor has any new light been shed on the Black Pelican. As we look in on the little community today, we find Lum in the Jot-'em Down store and library. Abner, very excited, is just entering. Listen.
Hey, Lum! Lum! Hey, Lum!
Goodness sakes, what is it, Abner?
Oh, I never seen you. I've been robbed, Lum. I've been robbed.
You been robbed?
Yes, sir. Went over to my place this morning to get some clean clothes, and I discovered somebody's broke in the house there, and they took some of our things.
Somebody broke in your house?
Yes, they have.
For goodness sake, are you sure?
Why, yes, I'm sure. I just come from there just now. They taken the rest of Elizabeth's clothes, the ones that she never taken with her when she left, and they taken her fancy sewing basket, and I don't know what all's gone.
Well, I do know. Well, when was you over there last?
Well, I ain't been over there for a couple of 3 days. I've been staying over at Grandpappy Spears' place, you know.
But was the house locked up all that time?
Why, sure it was. Locked up tight. I believe, though, they could have got in that kitchen window. There's a hole in the screen right there where the hook's at, you know, and they could have reached in there with a piece of wire or something, opened the screen, and raised the window. They could have done that.
Granny, that's curious. Maybe you ought to start sleeping over there, Abner, and sort of keep your eye on things.
Oh, no, not me. No, sir. Leastways, not by myself, I ain't going to do it. I ain't going to get caught in there by that Black Pelican, I'll tell you that.
Black Pelican?
Why, sure. That's more than likely who done the robbing.
Oh, no, Abner. I think you're on the wrong track there.
No, I ain't neither, Lum. It was the Black Pelican that done it. And that woman that left the baby here is either the Black Pelican or she a friend of his one.
Well, how do you know that?
Well, I just figured that she must be, for that's the reason they wanted Elizabeth's clothes. No man would want to wear women's clothes. Wait a minute. What? You never taken them, did you, Lum?
Me?
Why, sure. You was wearing that Mother Hubbard outfit around here yesterday to keep the baby from crying.
Oh, yeah, but I give that up. After the way Grandpap sat here yesterday and made a laughingstocks out of me for wearing it.
Oh, he was mad. I never will forget.
Well, he thought I was Miss Lunsford on account of his her dress I had on.
Yeah, I know he did. He thought it was her at first, and then after you turned around and told him it was you, he still wouldn't believe it.
I know it. He was still mad.
Oh, last night over at the place, so mad he couldn't see. Threatened to go over there and whip Uncle Henry. Said Uncle Henry must have made his woman mad at him for some reason.
Well, they had supper over at their place. Did he get mad at him?
Oh, yeah, just got fighting mad. They'd come over. He told them yesterday afternoon not to even come over there, but Uncle Henry come over anyway and couldn't figure out what was wrong. Said he wanted to find out what all the feuding was about.
You get something on his mind, you couldn't jar it out of there with a stick of dynamite.
Oh, that Grandpap, he threatened to sick the dogs on him. Aunt Charity finally talked him out of it, and I reckon they about half got it figured out.
I never realized how much trouble I was causing by putting on that Mother Hubbard.
Oh,
just to please the baby.
You might not got the Lunsford and the Spears as a feuding, I'll tell you that. But I know one thing, old that was a Black Pelican that robbed my place. Ain't no doubt.
Couldn't have been, Abner, because the Black Pelican was over here sometime during the night and left another note for us.
Another note?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness. What, did he threaten our lives again?
Well, sort of, I think. He enclosed a $10 bill to buy food for the baby.
He did?
Yeah. That seemed sort of thoughty of him. I rather imagine he's a pretty nice feller.
You do,
Especially for a crook or whatever he is.
Well, what did the rest of the note say?
Oh, it was just a short one. All it said was, Wait a minute, I got it right here somewhere.
Doggies, he must have left a note right after he'd been over to my place and done that robbing. That's about what he done. Come back by the store here and left a note.
Here it is. Says, second warning. Don't let the baby out of your sight. And don't talk to the police.
Uh-oh.
A word to the wise is sufficient.
Huh?
Signed, the Black Pelican.
Hey, Doggies, Lum, I believe we ought to do something about this.
Well, what can we do?
Well, let's go to the police anyway and tell them everything that's happened.
No, we can't do that, Abner. According to these notes we've been getting, that'd be the worst one thing we could do.
I don't care. I don't like all these peculiar things that's going on around here late, I'll tell you that. First, my woman and daughter disappeared. I don't know where they went to, and then we get a baby left on our hands here. We don't know who he belongs to, and his mother disappears, and then my place is robbed. I'll tell you, Lum, they got me to where I'm so nervous and jumpy just like a rabbit's nose.
Well, I can't have that. We ain't going to no police. I ain't going to take a chance on getting in trouble with the Pelican. He's our friend now.
How do you know he is?
Well, he put a $10 bill in that note, didn't he?
I don't trust the feller. He got more than $10 worth of stuff over at my place last night, Lum. I don't trust him.
It might not have been him, Abner, that robbed your place.
Bound to been. Bound to been.
I don't want to do nothing that might do some harm to little Lum.
Well, I'll tell... Huh? Little Lum?
Yeah?
Who's Little Lum?
That's the baby. I thought I'd call him that, just temporary, of course. Just till we can find out his real name.
Well, now, just a minute here,
Now,
Lum.
don't get excited, Abner. We got to call him something, long as his mama never told us what his name was. We can't just go on calling him Baby or the little feller.
Well, no, but if we're going to give him a name, well, I'm going to help pick it out. I'll tell you that right now. Don't forget that woman left him here for both of us to take care of, not just you.
Well, all right. You can be in on it.
Yes, sir.
But what's wrong with Little Lum? It sounds sort of cute, I think.
It sounds like a grown-up man's name. Now, if you want a real cute name for the little feller, why, how about Little Abner?
Little Abner?
Yes, sir.
Oh, that's the name of a feller in the funny papers.
Huh?
We don't want folks to think we got him out of the funny papers.
Well, how about Charlie, then? That's always been one of my favorite names, Charlie.
Well, that ain't no name for a baby.
Little Charlie Abner.
That's even worse.
Little Abner Charlie. Then.
Wait a minute. I know what we'll do. We'll have an official meeting and decide this name business right now. We'll take a vote on it.
Yeah, all right. Let's do that. Ain't nothing I like better than a meeting.
We can vote by secret ballots if you want.
Well, sure, any kind of ballots. I don't care.
All right, let's start then.
Yeah.
I now declare this
Wait a minute, Lum. I just got to think, no, we can't vote on it. Just the two of us. It'll come out a tie every time.
Yeah, I know, but according to all official rules, in case there's a tie, the chairman of the meeting gets to cast a vote, and that decides it.
Oh, yeah, that's a good way. Go ahead.
Well, I, L. Edders, chairman of the meeting, do hereby declare that said meeting's duly open for business, and all in favor say A.
A.
All opposed signify by saying same sign.
Same sign.
The meeting will now proceed with the business at hand. All in favor say A.
A.
All opposed signify.
Same sign.
Floor is now ready to receive nominations for names for Little Lum.
For who?
I mean for the baby.
Oh, all right. I nominate Charlie Abner.
And I nominate...
Hi-ho, muskrat.
Oh, for goodness sake. What do you want, Mousy?
Operator 47J29 at your service, Lum. The masked muskrat never lets you down.
Listen, Mousy, you better run along. Me and Abner's having an important meeting here.
Yeah, we're busy right now, Mousy. Is it about the black pelican?
No, it ain't. Now, run along, Mousy.
Well, now, wait a minute, Lum. Don't you want to find out all about the black pelican?
Well, not right now. Or, wait a minute. Have you found out anything about it?
The masked muskrat never lets you down, Lum.
Well, that don't answer my question. Do you or don't you know something about the black pelican?
The masked muskrat knows all, sees all, and tells all at reasonable rates.
Reasonable rates?
Yes, sir.
You mean you're aiming on charging me before you'll tell me what you know?
Yes, sir. You see, I've set up my own detective agency, Lum, and Gussie says that I should get the money before I do any detecting.
Oh, Gussie, huh?
Yes, sir.
I would have known she was at the bottom of this. Well, we ain't interested in your detective service, Mousy, so just run along.
Well, I could make you a dandy report on the black pelican, Lum, put in all the details and everything.
No, them reports of yours is all details, no information. I could find out more with my eyes shut than you ever find out with reports.
Well, Lum, the masked muskrat never let you down.
Well, I'm letting the masked muskrat down this time. Now, go on home, Mousy, because me and Abner are awful busy. Got a big meeting on and all.
All right, I'll go, but you fellas will be sorry that you didn't hire me.
Well, we'll take that chance. So long, Mousy.
So long, Lum, Abner. Hi-ho, muskrat.
Yeah, hi-ho, muskrat. Very odd, is him starting up a detective agency. Well, let's get on with the meeting. Whereabouts was we at? Oh, yeah, I was just getting ready to nominate the name of little... Abner, you ain't paying no attention to me.
Huh?
What's the matter with you, anyway?
Well, I've been studying here, Lum, and I've changed my mind.
Changed your mind?
Yeah.
About what?
About voting on that name. I'm again it, I believe. The more I study about it, why, the more I know that it'll come out in your favor.
Why, that's ridiculous. We're voting according to official rules.
Yeah, but you get 2 votes. One for yourself and one for being the chairman of the meeting, and I'll just get 1 vote.
Now, listen, Abner, you already agreed to do it this way.
I don't care. I've changed my mind, and I ain't going to do it. We're going to name him Charlie Abner.
We're not.
We're done.
He's got to have a better name than that, one that fits his personalities.
Well, what's wrong with Charlie Abner? That fits him.
Just a minute, Abner. Ain't no use of us arguing this way. I know a good way of settling this.
Huh?
We leave it up to the baby.
To the baby? Why, he can't tell us what his name is.
Yeah, we'll go back to the feed room and stand on different sides of his crib, and then we'll both call him by the names we picked out. And we'll see which one of us he'll turn to.
Why, Doggy, that's a good idea. Come on. Let's do it that way. Doggy, I know which way you'll turn, though, I'll tell you that.
See about that. Which side of the crib do you want to be on?
Oh, I don't care. Don't make no difference. I reckon one side is good.
Oh, my goodness.
What's the matter?
Look in the crib.
Huh?
The baby's gone.
Say, folks, here's a suggestion that you'll welcome in case your dinner didn't set so well today. It's just this. Get acquainted with the fast, comforting relief Alka-Seltzer offers for a touch of acid indigestion, sour upset stomach, heartburn, or occasional distress after meals. You see, Alka-Seltzer does more than merely reduce excess gastric acidity. It also actually helps relieve that full, stuffy, uncomfortable feeling. Now remember that, won't you? And if, during these hot summer days, you overload your stomach with too much cold food or drink, try Alka-Seltzer and see how much better it helps you feel. You can get Alka-Seltzer at all drugstores, either by the package for home use or by the glass at the soda fountain.
So where has little or Charlie Abner or anything else gone to? We'll find out. Not tomorrow. No, it'll be next week. We'll find out more a little later on. Lum and Abner, 82 years ago, July 9th, 1942, here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Visit our webpage at classicradio.stream. Tomorrow, comedy for once. Granby's Green Acres, The Adventures of Archie Andrews, Paul Winchell and Jerry Mahoney, Our Miss Brooks, and The Couple Next Door. Have yourself a great Wednesday. We'll see you on Thursday when we're back with more Classic Radio Theater. I'm Wyatt Cox.
Lowe's knows July 4th savings are worth celebrating. Right now, get up to 40% off select major appliances and get an additional 10% off 2 or more select major appliances. Plus, get 3 Scott's Naturescapes 1.5 cubic foot mulch bags for just $10. These deals are coming in hot. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for more details. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii.